right, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, someone special. George the Animal Steel in your corner. However, in my opinion, this could be your last shot at Randy Savage and the Intercontinental title.
My last opportunity. Randy Savage, the day has finally come. The minutes, the seconds, we have reached our moment. As you and I climb into the ring, we clash like two titans. But there will only be one winner. One winner, Savage. This dragon will breathe fire. This dragon will scorch your back. I will come away with the championship belt and see new horizons.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, threatening to scorch the body of the reigning Intercontinental Champion, the Macho Man Randy Savage. And in fact, here he comes. But the champion still in control now. A small package by the Dragon. He got him! I can't believe it! History is made!
You talk about a miscarriage of justice, Matsu! Flagrant outside interference on the part of Animal Steel!
History made here in the Silverdome, part of WrestleMania 3!
The winner of this contest, and new Intercontinental Champion, Ricky the Dragon!
This is Gage Bright, ring announcer and lead commentator for Zowa Wrestling and Bradley University alum, and you are listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast with BB, Primo, and AJ.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following Sit Down Marks podcast is set for one fall. Introduce first your heel host that is always helping to spread the good word of wrestling, Dirty Bird. Next up, the co-host from the land of the rattlesnake, Mr. Team Extreme, editor and producer, Primo. And finally, your co-host, straight out of your mama's kitchen, driver of the Grip Wagon, straight off a cliff, assistant editor and producer, AJ.
Welcome to episode number 53 of the best kept secret in wrestling podcast. That's right, the Sit Down Marks podcast. We are sitting here befuddled because Primo just blew our minds with that brand new intro. How'd you guys like that, AJ? I mean, mouth wide open. That's pretty awesome, right?
That was fucking amazing.
Well done, Primo.
Good God.
Thank you. I've actually had that was my anniversary gift to you guys. I've actually been working on this for a little bit. I gotta give a quick shout out there to TW Ward. You can go find him on Fiverr and TikTok. He's the one that made that for me. He is the announcer for the Memphis Hustle basketball team and also an announcer for Memphis Wrestling. Wow. You can find him at TW Ward on Fiverr and the TW Ward on TikTok and Twitter. Once again, thanks to him. That's going to be our Season 2 opener.
Oh my God, that was I feel bad that I didn't get you guys. Like, I just am snarky. That's my gift to you is my blue Smackety Down shirt.
I've been sitting on that for like a good week now, and I've been so excited.
I don't understand how you could keep a secret. I'm so terrible. I would have sent that to you two like immediately. Like, hey guys, this is a surprise.
I almost spilled the beans to Dirty the other day.
Oh, that was so cool.
I love the introductions in there. He nailed it. Thank you so much, man. That is awesome, man.
TW Ward, thank you.
Job.
That was amazing.
Nice job. Well, the introductions are taken care of, man. You know everybody on the pod right now. Let me thank our sponsors right now. Coastland Apparel. Go to coastlandapparel.com. Use promo code BIRDTV for 15% off your order. And also go check out Jet Designs on Facebook. That's JET Designs on Facebook for all your custom die-cast car needs. All right, I want to thank everybody listening right now. Obviously, everybody watching right now on YouTube, live every Wednesday on the Sit Down Marks YouTube channel. And also everybody listening right now, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all those other podcasts that we're on, and also on SportzWire Online Radio, Fridays at 6:15, right before the Thomas Bryce Show, and throughout the week. We really appreciate it. If you like the pod, please tell a friend and leave us a great 5-star review if you like the pod. And those reviews really go a long way in helping us out. So on whatever platform you listen from, it would be greatly appreciated. Go leave us that review. Thanks again for doing that. All right, boys, we going a little retro here today in honor of us talking about the great Macho Man Ricky Steamboat match later on today. The pop of the pod could be no other than the man that, we all used to get that little white piece of tape and put it around the end of your finger and put it up in the air.
What do you mean? What do you mean used to? I still do that.
You still do that? Oh, right. You'd grab your belt buckle, you'd turn in the air and say, "Ooh!"
Oh my
yeah.
gosh! Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off there, but I just remember our Macho Man off.
Oh my gosh!
Yes.
That's back to the olden days as we start season 2 here.
All right. Today's pop of the pod, of course, is none other than the Macho Man, Randy Savage. Oh yes, there it is, man. We all know who was coming to the ring when that music hit, man. It was a pop like no other, man. But yeah, we're going to be talking about that later. The Macho Man and Ricky, the Dragon Steamboat's famous match from WrestleMania 3. AJ, man, we got some wrestling history today. I imagine we probably do, and some birthdays, sir.
We do indeed have some of those things. Let's go ahead and
First
start.
of all, I'm glad to see that you lived after driving the Griff wagon off the cliff. So I'm
right
glad
off
to see that you made it through.
Although, there's a reason why he hasn't been seen in a while. One, because we drove the Griff wagon off the cliff. And two, there is no two. Is off a cliff. Poor Griff Grifferson. We miss you. Come back to us, please. Join the wagon. I didn't mean any of that. He's awful. Anyways, on this day in wrestling history and birthdays today, that is March the 2nd for all you lovely things out there. Okay, got a good one.
All right.
So back in 1936, when, old Dirty over there was heading out California way, trying to escape the Dust Bowl. He's following Tom Joad out to
the Oregon
California.
Trail.
He's a
By the way, there's a little reference for you literary fuckers out there. It's following Tom Joad out to California. 1936. Dick Shakat, I did not make that name up, although it sounds like I did. Dick Shakat defeated Danny O'Mahony. Again, those are names. I did not make these up.
Is that Ball's dad?
No, that's Balls Mahoney.
Balls.
This
my
is
bad.
Danny O'Mahony.
O'Mahony. O'Mahony. All right.
Mahoney.
Okay.
So, and we have Dick Shakat
He's Irish.
Dick Shakat.
Danny O'Mahony for the NWA heavyweight title. That happened in 1936.
Wow.
Then, 3 years later, when Dirty, went out California way, and now, the war effort had begun, so he had to start making rivets and, I don't know, ready-to-eat meals. I don't know.
All that factory work from making rivets came to use.
Right.
Yes. He had his Rosie the Riveter poster hanging in it was already a poster in 1939. Anyways, in 1939, Marv Westerberg defeated Steve Casey for the AWA World Heavyweight title. Yay!
Woohoo!
So, a couple of pretty important things that happened back in the 30s. Up next in 1993, speaking of Ricky Steamboat, the Hollywood Blondes, speaking of Griff Grifferson, that would be Steve Austin and Brian Pillman. They defeated Ricky Steamboat and Shane Douglas to win their first and only WCW Tag Team Championship.
Nice.
That happened in Macon, Georgia. Why the fuck was Ricky Steamboat with Shane Douglas? Ricky Steamboat is like the greatest babyface ever. Shane Douglas is a turd. I don't get it. Apart from that, there's not a whole lot that happened today. Alberto El Patron defeated Bobby Lashley for the Impact World title in 2017.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Exactly. And then in 2020, the Street Profits beat Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy, we'll get to him later, to win the Raw Tag Team Championship. And that is... Thank you. This day in wrestling history, but we have some birthdays. And by some, I mean there's not really any. But we're going to go back to the 1st, because that's when all the birthdays are that matter. March 1st, just celebrating a birthday, was General Adnan. Remember him from when we were kids? He was born in 1939. We have Iron Mike Tenay, born in 1955. King Booker, 1965.
Booker! Five time.
We have
hell!
Big E was born in 1986.
Oh, another 5.
Yes. And then everyone's favorite abandoned gimmick, Emma, born in 1989.
Emelina.
These are all March 1st, by the way, because there's only one on
89. She's a
today.
couple months older than me.
I didn't realize that Big E was that old. I thought he was born in 1990 or something.
You'd say 85?
Was that making 35?
86. So
he's 35. 36, yeah. My brother's 86.
And then we also have one half of Red Dragon, Kyle O'Reilly. We'll get to him again later as well, 1987. Actual birthday today, Deborah, 1960. There you go. That's what we got today.
Not bad.
It's stupid. Yeah, again, birthdays are drying up.
Yeah, a lot of wrestling parents weren't humping around, 10 months ago now.
No, they were
kind of slow last week too. Well,
dry
Primo,
period.
go ahead, buddy.
You said that was all of them, right?
No, I skipped a couple that I didn't care about.
Missing Link, I think maybe was one.
Hanson from the War Raiders is tomorrow. Yeah. Justin Gabriel's tomorrow, and Lance Cade was today.
It's okay. None of them
wait!
really...
I got one more. Just for you, Dirty Bird.
Yeah.
Your boy, Dalton Castle, born March 4th, 1986.
The Peacock! I can't wait to see him at a show soon, man.
So I actually do have one. It's more important than any of those people.
Mm-hmm.
It happens to be March 1st, 1991. None other than Mrs. Primo.
Mrs. Primo? She wasn't on my list.
Birthday,
that makes me sad.
March 1st, yeah. Happy birthday.
Well, she needs to wrestle. She can get on the list. Let's get her on the list, Primo. Let's get her in training, man. Come on.
We'll get her in there, and everybody be jobbing to her.
Let's go.
Happy birthday, Mrs. Primo. Now stop staring into my soul from
your behind the TV.
Yes.
All right, Primo. You got some headlines for us, man?
I sure do. So we got headlines for today for the past week since we last talked. So come on in, Marks. The headlines are, so ProWrestlingNews.co, WWE Hall of Famer Scott Hall has been hospitalized after falling and suffering a broken hip.
Broken? Wait, so did he fall and break the hip, or did he break a hip and then fall? I hear that's a common misconception.
What order it was in, actually. The article said it in falling, then breaking order, but
That's what I read. He fall and sustained a hip injury.
He's got them old brittle bones.
I was about to say, our heroes are getting that old that they're breaking hips now.
I'll be breaking a hip shortly.
Yes, he will. I'm surprised he didn't break one coming back from California way.
I almost said, I didn't go to California. And then it hit me. But get well, Razor. You're one of my favorite of all time, man. You got to get better, dude.
Next up, Fightful Select is reporting that even though with the Hall of Fame and their shows, Supercard of Honor slated to be coming up, Ring of Honor may still be for sale.
Let's buy it. We can pull together a couple of mil.
I was about to say, I saw somewhere it was like 20 to 40 mil or something like that.
Yeah, let's. Tony Khan's been a rumor.
We got that?
Yeah.
I'm sure we can find it.
Sure. We got that just from ratings. And
let's go put it all
Coastland.
Right.
On the roulette table. And
yeah, we'll pull it up.
Let it ride, baby. Let it ride, baby. Uh-huh. Ooh, yeah.
So,
Dusty and Macho. That was nice.
Yeah, that was a collab. A little mashup there.
Oh, yeah!
That was
So-
Macho Rhodes is who that was.
Macho Rhodes, baby. Adam Scherr says on his Fightful interview that Control Your Narrative is going to be the first wrestling promotion in the metaverse, and they'll also be involved in NFTs. So,
Explain.
yeah, I don't really understand that actually. Like, you control your narrative, you know.
Metaverse is the internet, correct?
Isn't that supposed? The metaverse is like
Facebook.
Metaverse is like virtual world. So like, I would assume I could watch him like I have this VR device here.
Sure,
I would assume I could probably watch him on that.
Those are just for porn. Nobody watches wrestling.
Just.
So yeah, but anyway, if they're doing the whole control your narrative, anti-establishment thing,
yeah,
and then
Joining
they're
Facebook.
Yeah.
So far, everything I've read and heard about this promotion is problematic.
Control your narrative, but join ours.
Yeah, I have no interest in it whatsoever.
And also, I see a whole bunch of things that are like, this looks like it's going to be a dumpster fire, but I can't wait to watch.
Yeah.
Now, you know, I'm all for more wrestling promotions, and more power to them. If it goes well, it goes well. It's just I hope they're not being too ambitious out the gate.
I don't know if ambitious is the word I would use.
Yeah. I'm being very nice.
You are being very diplomatic about it.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes.
Straight off the cliff.
See where I am.
WWE announced via Twitter that remember back 6 months ago, where they had the A&E specials documentaries.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they announced via Twitter that WWE and A&E are back with over 130 hours of all new premium at WWE themed series and specials, including at A&E WWE Biography, WWE Legends, a brand new series called WWE Rivals, and the return of WWE's Most Wanted Treasures.
Yeah.
Coming soon to A&E TV.
Interesting. I like the whole things that they did, but the only thing I don't like about them is how much WWE like has control over them. So you don't, because they're really picky about what they let get out, and that's why I like Dark Side of the Ring so much.
Dark Side. This is just like fuck it, we're gonna tell all the shit.
Yeah, this is actually what goes on.
Yeah.
So fuck you, people.
Yeah.
And lastly, let's talk about this. Per eWrestling News, WWE will reportedly be introducing a new World Championship after the WWE and Universal titles are unified at WrestleMania 38. At this current time, however, WWE has not publicly announced any plans to corroborate this specific claim. My question is, so when Roman wins both titles,
and he will,
are they dropping the Universal title or are they dropping the WWE title? And if so, whichever one they drop, what title will be created to
the metaverse title?
Fuck, dude. Impact already did that with digital.
God, I really hope it is something like completely sponsored, like the PNC Bank title or something.
I don't know,
like that.
man. I'm lost. I mean, are they going to go like? I don't know.
The undisputed
go? Like,
title.
they're going to call it a world championship, but they're going to reword it cleverly. You know what I mean? Like Universal. They'll call it like atmospheric or something. You know what I mean? Like
the atmospheric.
You know what I mean?
Solar.
Like something global. The global title.
Global.
Like
Global Championship Wrestling title.
The Around the Earth title.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, AJ Styles would never get into
it. I don't want that one.
If it was called the Around the Earth
He would get it and then make it the Flat Earth title. I love AJ Styles, but that is absolutely bizarre.
So
my other part of that question: do you think they're going to keep the WWE title or the Universal title? Which one are they dropping?
Universal.
I hope.
Just because it doesn't have their brand.
I
name
hope,
in
but
it.
but I will say that the Universal title is like what they're, unfortunately, as Dirty has said many times, that's what they're building, and. I just don't want the lineage of the WWE Championship will just go out the window.
Right. Well, are they gonna make like a junior heavyweight title? You know what I mean?
Well,
like
I also heard
co-main.
A good point was made on Reddit. I don't remember who said it, but they said that maybe they won't be calling it. It'll be a world championship. Exclude the heavyweight portion since they no longer doesn't really do weight classes anymore.
Sure. Yeah.
But everyone's still going to call it the heavyweight.
Just bring back Big Gold and call it a day.
Yeah.
No, I want the spinner belt back. Bring the spinner belt. The worst belt in the history of any belt ever.
No, it was the vegan belt or whatever it was.
Oh, I love the vegan belt that was made out of like hemp.
Yeah.
No, the worst one ever was the Global Impact, whatever the Global Force title. Was just the sticker slapped over the Impact title. Yeah. Fucking carnies.
Oh, wrestling.
But that's headlines. That's today's headlines. That's all I got for this week.
All right, guys. Time for the fan shout out here. You can DM us on Twitter at SitDownMarks and let us know when and where you listen to the podcast, and we'll shout you out. Well, boys, today we got one. Ted from the UK basically says he listens whenever he can and says cheers. So cheers back to you, Ted. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Ted. All the way from across the pond.
Yeah.
Thanks
I wanted to ask him if his last name was Lasso, but I wasn't sure.
Yes. He is a fictional character from...
probably him,
Oh, you know what? While we're at shout out to the pod and across the pond, I got this in the mail recently, and it's the One Stop Wrestling magazine, which your boys, the Sit Down Marks, are featured in on page Trace there.
What?
We're a big deal now.
Look at us go.
We're not going to be the best kept secret much longer.
So thanks to Craig Mitchell. It is Craig Mitchell, right?
Yep,
from One Stop Wrestling. He's over there across the pond for that magazine. And once again, I just want to say thank you to TW Ward.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all for taking care of us, man. We appreciate it. And it was super cool to have us featured in that magazine. So thank you. Go check out One Stop Podcast too after you listen to ours, of course. All right, AJ, it's time for the movie of the week.
AJ's movie of the week.
Nope.
All right, welcome everybody to the show. No movie this week.
I got nothing.
No movie this week.
The man is busy. He didn't have time for a shitty ass movie.
Well, I mean, I had time for one, and then I was sitting down, with my selection of shitty wrestling movies, and I had my my milk duds. I don't eat milk duds, and like popping corn.
What about Whoppers?
I do like a good Whopper, which is weird because those are like
milk duds are way better than Whoppers. All day.
I like Whoppers.
They're like old man candy.
They are
like because you have to be like, oh, I want a malted milk ball, Sonny. Like
you gotta have teeth malt for
well, see, you don't have teeth after you eat milk duds because
it's true.
You rip them out of your face. Anyways, so I was getting ready to watch a movie, and then there's this part of my soul that was fighting for me. It was like, don't do it. Like, not again. Like, just take a week off.
Yeah,
and
come back strong next week.
Yeah, like
your soul needs to be cleansed of the crappy films,
that awfulness.
And I already know what I'm watching next week, and I am absolutely dreading / so excited for it. Here's a little hint. It's it'll make a trilogy of movies that I have put you guys through their reviews. It's a cartoon. That's all I'm going to tell you. So get excited.
What I'm gathering is that Jingle Spaghetti was so bad that you couldn't watch the movie this week.
No, it was so awful. I was like, All
right, it's time to talk about what we're going to talk about, everybody. We're going to let you know all you need to know in the past week in wrestling. Then we're going to kick off the month of March with our Dropkick Discussion, which begins with the Savage Steamboat match from Mania 3, like we talked about earlier. We're going to preview AEW Revolution. Flair is going to tell us what's cooking in Atlanta and promo school. And then later on, we're going to chat with Zowa Live, ring announcer, cameraman, match commentator, all those things, Mr. Gage Bright. And we're going to talk about this Saturday's big Zowa show and much, much more. All right, Primo, let's go, man. Kick us off.
for the WWE recap?
No. How about a soundbite into
I'm kidding. I got you. I'm kidding. I'm looking.
You're not
right
kidding.
at it.
You weren't ready.
This is Levi Cooper.
Hey, this is Buck Nasty, Bucky Collins.
This is Big B.
What's up, bozos? This is Trevor Outlaw, and you're listening
You're listening to the Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
and you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast with DB, Primo, and AJ.
All right, let's get this weekly recap underway, but I'm going to kick you off first with the Indie Roundup for the weekend of March 4th, man. Big weekend this weekend. Me and AJ are hitting the road this Friday to St. Louis Anarchy. We're going to head out for the big show called Motivation. It's in Alton, Illinois, which is basically East St. Louis at the legendary Spalding Hall. 7 o'clock. It's the return of ACH. It's going to be a big one there. We got Big Beef is wrestling Camaro Jackson, Thomas Shire versus Chip Day. We also got Aaron Williams versus Jeremy Wyatt. Billy Starks is scheduled to be there. And we also got Moonshine Mantell and Christian Rose. Man, this is going to be a big card. Dylan is meeting us there. AJ, which one of these matches are you looking forward to seeing, man?
I want to see Jeremy Wyatt without the belt. I think it's going to be weird seeing him titleless, and I want to see what he can do when he's not a cocky champ. Cause I'm interested. So I look forward to that.
Yeah, and they announced ACH is going to be wrestling Kenny Alfonso, man. That right there is enough to buy the ticket, man.
I love Kenny Alfonso. He's so
me too,
good.
man. He is he's going to be pretty big news here soon. So go check this show out, man. I'm sure it's going to be somewhere YouTube or whatever after the show. But looking forward to that one Friday night, man. It's going to be a big one. Also, Paradigm Pro is putting on a show this weekend on Friday called Still Striving. It's going to be Jefferson, Indiana, in the Louisville area. We got Myron Reed there, B-Boy, Shug D. Also, that Friday, March 4th, Action Wrestling presents The Movement Begins, featuring Masha Slamovich versus AC Mack for the IWTV title. Masha already becoming a favorite here on the pod, so that one's on IWTV, of course, so check that one out. So, all right, I want to plug a show here, too. Our friend, Rabbi Jeremy Fine, has been on the pod here before. So this Sunday, March the 6th, Second Wrestling is back. 2 o'clock at the Northbrook, Illinois. At the Northbrook, Illinois. In Northbrook, Illinois.
At the old Northbrook.
At the Bernard Weiger JCC. This show's called Flood Zone. Billy Starks is going to be there. Eric Cannon, Darren Corbin, Dak Draker, Matt Nix. Go support our friend Rabbi Jeremy Fine. Sooner or later, we're going to get up here to one of these shows. So check him out on Sunday. Also, Saturday night, Scenic City Rumble is happening for SCI down in Saudi Daisy, Tennessee. Obviously, AC Mack is going to be there. Jax Dane, Violence is Forever, Jade Newman, and AJ Gray. And then also, I want to plug before we'll plug it later when we talk to Gage. But Saturday, March the 5th, Zowa Live presents The Great Gig in the Sky, sponsored by your boys here, the Sit Down Marks, live in Sterling, Illinois, at the Moose Lodge. This is going to be the last show at the Moose Lodge for I think until July. So it's going to be a really awesome show. Ringside announcer, commentator, cameraman Gage Bright joins us later to break that whole card down. So that was going to be fun. And then, AJ, next week, man, it's time to go back to work, dude. Iron Spirit Pro, I'm rocking the shirt today. You know, it's time to have some wrestling back in Normal, Illinois, man. So it's going to be a big show there. Friday, March 11th, Iron Spirit Pro. Get some tickets, man. I'm ready. AJ and I will be there making wrestling with Logan again. There's the stickers the boys have right now. And looking forward to it, man. We're going to be breaking that card down next week. Right now, we got Brubaker versus Roosman for the Iron Spirit Pro title. CJ Esparza versus Sala Matupu. If you haven't seen Sala Matupu yet, man, he's kind of a throwback. You're going to love seeing him live. And then also our guy Hartenbauer wrestling Stephen Wolf. And then also Bucky Collins and Orion Creed. This is going to be a big, big show. And also tomorrow night, Thursday night, Freelance and Emporium presents flawless victory. Did that sound like Mortal Kombat?
No.
It was close. I'll give you
Flawless
-5.
victory.
Actually, that was pretty good.
Is that better? Okay. So Freelance Wrestling presents Flawless Victory.
That one was worse.
That was worse. Okay. Chicago, Illinois, at the Emporium, Logan Square. Storm Grace is going to be there. Kylie Ray, Matt Nix, GPA. This one's going to be on IWTV tomorrow night, man. Check it out. Thursday night. That's the indie roundup for the week. Big shows. Me and AJ are going to be at St. Louis Anarchy Friday. Zowa Live Saturday. Big things happening. Big things popping. Little things stopping, as the MVP used to say. Primo, get us rolling, man. I'm talked enough, man.
So let's go with the WWE. Smacking it down. Okay,
Like my shirt says, you turds.
That's right. Smacking it down, smack it everywhere. So starting out, Charlotte and Sonya Deville. Well, basically, it starts out with Michael Cole interviewing Ronda Rousey, but that's not the important part. The important part is Charlotte and Sonya Deville attempt to take out Ronda Rousey's surgically repaired knee. And as a result, Sonya and Ronda Rousey will go one-on-one. In case y'all got that confused.
Thank you for specifying.
Right. With another Ronda.
Rousey.
Another Ronda out there. That's confused with Big Ronda. So,
yes.
Sonya and Ronda will go one-on-one next week on Smacking It Down, baby. I just want I put this in my notes. This had nothing to do with the show, but somebody in the somebody in the crowd, like when you come at the entrance right there on the stage, walkway, they had a sign. They had two signs. They interchanged them. One said, "First of all, you're wrong, sir." It said, "Toy Story 3 is filth."
I will agree with this gentleman. It is
trash.
It is trash.
And then he had another one that said, "I gave Hogan a black eye at WrestleMania 9."
That is fantastic. You are a liar, but
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can't believe you for anything, especially after your opinion on Toy Story 3.
No, he's right there.
So next, Los Lotharios introduced the Kiss Cam, where they kiss one lucky fan, and they both end up kissing this woman fan in the crowd there. During COVID.
Yep.
Who was on AEW the next night or next week?
She wasn't a plant. Fuck off with this.
I'll tell you what, man. New Day had no business going over here.
But I'm so glad it happened.
No,
they're 1-1.
Yeah. We're trying to build stars here, though. You know, I didn't think he had any. I thought Los Lotharios would win here. I mean, I'm not bad about it. I mean, we're gonna do what you want to do, but I was like, oh, come on.
I mean,
it over here, man.
It doesn't make much sense that New Day won, but I'm so glad they did. Right. Because the Los Lotharios gimmick is not.
They always win.
Good.
I am a New Day mark, so I'm always happy about that.
Yeah.
And also, what do you think about the Kiss Cam?
Love it.
Nope.
I mean, honestly, I think it is a cool gimmick, but it's during the current real world times.
I think it's a bit tone deaf. But I mean, most things in WWE are completely tone deaf. So the fact that it's only a bit tone deaf is a compliment. Yeah.
What's funny is I've never even thought of that when they kiss each other. Like, oh, it's going on during the pandemic. That never even crossed my mind at all. Like,
you just got over it. Like last
week. Yeah, you're the most recent of the three of us.
Yeah, I still can't hear right.
I still can't smell meat correctly.
Like there's a wrong way to smell meat.
It's weird.
But you're like, there's like the way you said it, it made it sound like there's a technique for smelling meat. And you were just fucking up every time.
I'm getting the technique wrong. So Sami Zayn had his Intercontinental Championship celebration, where he then welcomed any and all challenger. His celebration gets spoiled by none other than Jackass Forever's own Johnny Knoxville. However, Johnny Knoxville ends up eating 2 haluva kicks.
That second one was in. He ate it.
It was right there.
He ate it. Damn thing. Yeah.
The first one you could tell it was gripped.
If there was gum on his shoe, he smelled it.
I like that Johnny Knoxville is obviously you need some sort of celeb, but I like that they picked Johnny Knoxville because he will take anything. Like,
Yeah.
He was probably like, Sammy, kick the shit out of my face.
I love Johnny.
Yeah,
So-
I'm okay with it.
What about this? I know we were saying last week he's going to be the challenger, but what if he's not? What if he gets made the special guest referee, and he pulls a Mike Tyson?
I'm okay with that. I like that booking.
Yeah.
They should hire you.
I mean that would definitely work if he. I mean, he's going to have to be involved somehow.
Yeah,
they got everybody leaning towards it's going to be a match, but
I mean, just so we have a no offense to Johnny Knoxville, but so we have a quality match.
Right, but they got to get the celebrity in there. They always
if he can be an enforcer or a special ref, that'd be great. I'd be totally down with that.
Yeah.
Me too.
Or I could see him doing something too, where Johnny gets a tag partner, and then Sammy gets one too. And if Johnny pins Sammy, he wins the title. Kind of,
that's
some sort of stip.
It's going to happen,
like
right?
That, so.
Johnny Knoxville's winning that championship.
Why not, man? I mean, what we're not going to be surprised. It's WWE,
No. It's not like there's any prestige left with that title. Like, sure,
all right,
why not?
And lastly,
yes, sir.
We had a TSR
sighting.
TSR sighting. Tracksuit
right.
Roman, baby.
Tracksuit Roman was in full effect. He came out.
Acknowledge me.
And he basically, him and Brock had their contract signing ahead of WrestleMania match. This was actually almost my intro promo, but this is where the first time I heard it, Paul called it a title unification match. And Roman goes on this cool tangent about, he's like, this is my show. I own this. That's my championship. These are my commentators. These fans are my fans. And if you're watching the show, there's also some security in there. There's supposed to be
ring
separate.
bell.
And he goes, that's my, and then he says, even everybody here works for me, even the security in the ring. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I did too.
And then, of course, Brock just destroys those guys. I feel so bad for those security. He chunked an office chair at this dude. Yeah, I mean, that's just a flying object that it's kind of hard to predict how it's going to come at you.
It's not like you can safely block it like you can like a flat folding chair.
Yeah.
It has spiky bits and pointy bits.
That was smacking it down, baby. Moving on to Monday Night Raw. Right out the gate, we got my brother, KO, continuing to diss our homeland of Texas. Then you got...
Stupid Texas.
He was wearing this, so he was looking like the damn prospector from Toy Story, where this hat like flipped up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Finn.
Yes.
So Finn Balor and Damian Priest had a United States Championship match.
This was a good match. I enjoyed this.
It was a good one, and for the first time in a long time, Finn Balor has some gold around his waist, baby. New United States Champion Finn Balor.
I was very pleased.
Yeah, I was okay with that.
Very pleased.
I like that.
I like how they're already running the storyline too. Going, maybe run it back. He's already saying, I ain't get the cheers that you've gotten already. These people didn't respect me, so this will keep going. But I like it though. This is good.
I had that on here. That afterwards, Damian turned on the crowd and he destroyed Finn Balor post match, and you could tell he's officially like full heel now.
Yeah, he's like super heel.
Yeah.
I like they put on a good match, so I would like to see them feud.
Yeah.
For
we said this before, man. You got Finn Balor on your roster, you got to use him. I don't care, but yeah. So this is smart to me. Like I like this move by WWE.
Oh, for sure.
Put some kind of gold on him.
Even if it's the United States belt.
Yeah.
I mean,
starting point. At least it'll get him on TV.
Yeah, that's true. My boy, I love him so much.
And finally on Monday Night Raw, Edge. He finally learns who will accept his WrestleMania challenge. None other than the phenomenal AJ Styles. As much as, this is my own personal take on it, as much as this match was already predicted to happen, I'm still pretty excited to watch it. It's basically a fantasy booking come to life. So I'm pretty excited. They start brawling. They were jaw-jacking, and they brawl, and Edge seemingly takes on the heel roll, which I like. I'm a fan of that, too.
Yep, me too.
It's basically attacked him for no reason.
Yeah,
like, we're gonna have a match. Okay, I'm gonna just attack you then.
Oh shit, we're both faces. I better be a heel for this.
And then he clearly starts to have an inner battle with his dark side, but ends up giving into it as he delivers a concerto to AJ Styles, and
me.
And as Raw goes off the air, so that's pretty cool. AJ's gonna be face here, Edge will be heel, and it's gonna be that's gonna be a good match.
Yeah. I got two things I want to say. AJ better go over.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
AJ better go over. I'm kind of getting over Edge, like this. Like I don't know, just like if it's the hair and the beard, and he's just not that guy anymore that can just like attack like he does. Up until this point, he hasn't really had that and except in maybe the match with Randy. I don't think he's really had that like sinister Edge come back, and all of a sudden he just kind of shows up. Oh, I'd have been cool with him saying, shaking hands and saying, this is going to be a dream match, and I wouldn't care if they touched until Mania. This is how good. Like they don't need to, but obviously they want to put some heat on it, and a couple concertos and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, honestly, this might be a hot take, but I hope Edge goes away after this, at least for a while.
I'm excited to see where they go with it. Edge is they're both great storytellers.
Yeah.
So the build up to WrestleMania is going to be exciting to watch as far as them two go, and then of course WrestleMania itself. There's finally a match that I can legitimately say I'm super excited to watch.
And also, did you guys see the new intro video?
Yeah.
Yes.
I wanted to talk about that.
Veer was in it. I'm like, how
yes, he was.
We haven't even seen yet, but
he finally came to the intro.
What did you guys think? Right. I was so. I missed that. I missed that intro. To the intro. So I was very confused at first because that opening couple of notes is Beethoven. I'm like, what the fuck is Beethoven doing in my wrestling show? But then they have like the little little hip hop style remix. I thought it was very cool. I liked it.
Yeah.
I didn't like the old opening.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Raw openings through the years. You get Papa Roach, Nickelback.
Compare the Papa Roach, Nickelback, Beethoven,
Power Man 3000, like a bunch. Obviously,
Kill Switch and Gage, didn't they do one?
Yeah,
at one point?
Early 2000s. The Move to the Music one was the best one. But
Move to the Music,
yeah, that one.
Moving
Moving on to NXT.
Do it.
So, NXT champion Braun Breaker and Tommaso Ciampa come out for their tag team match versus the Dirty Dogs, and they are wearing matching singlets, looking both looking shredded.
Yeah, they look pretty ripped.
Like
especially Dolph, because Bobby Roode has always been kind of cut, but Dolph Ziggler's just been more of a like normalish kind of build. But
and then speaking of Bobby Roode came out to Glorious.
Thank
and I
God.
popped so much for this. I mean, some people may hate on this theme song.
I love it.
It's one of the best theme songs in probably the past 10 years.
I agree. Wait,
you guys are idiots. No way. That's all.
No,
just because we can actually.
It's not smooth. It's not. It's just him saying glorious and doing the same thing over. It's like it's not.
Just because we can actually hear the song, you old head.
Go ahead and revert to your old jokes, you piece of shit. You know I'm right. Go ahead.
No,
you know I'm right. Y'all know I'm right. Go ahead. Let them fly. Oh,
I'll stick with that. I love this. Entrance.
Love Bobby Roode, just not the music.
I'd love for him to go back to Bobby Roode instead of Robert Roode.
Robert Roode.
Yeah.
I like the glorious gimmick, just didn't like the music.
See, I like the music.
I heard somewhere that it was before that was finished, it was originally going to Shinsuke.
Oh, I'm so glad it didn't.
Yeah, it wouldn't have fit him.
No.
The violin one is obviously way better.
Can you imagine Shinsuke trying to do to the glorious beat?
Yeah, glorious. So I called him. This is the name I gave him. I was thinking of names I could give him. I was stuck between talking about Braun Breaker and Tommaso Ciampa and their matching singlets. I was thinking either the Ciampa Breakers or I called them the Muscle Bound singlets.
Braun Chomp.
The Braun Chomp.
That's what I got
they beat the Dirty Dogs. It was a pretty fun tag team matchup. It was really good. If you want, go back to watch anything on NXT this past week, definitely go back and watch that. LA Knight challenges Grayson Waller.
L.A. Knight.
Let me talk to you. He challenges to a last man standing match for next week.
Nice.
Because each time that they have faced off, Grayson Waller has come up with some kind of screwy chicken shit tactic, but come out with a victory. But each time, LA Knight has actually been the one left standing.
Huh.
Next up, Gunther defeated Solo Sikoa and ended his undefeated streak.
Gunther.
Yeah.
Still Gunther.
Oh, it ain't going nowhere.
I know.
Yep,
Gunther.
No. They got us to forget the
Chairman Plymouth.
What do you guys think of Solo Sikoa?
Feel like we've seen it 1,000 times.
Every time, everything he does, I just feel bad because he's obviously awesome, like at what he does, and he could probably separate, except for the crowd is never going to let him.
No,
because every time he's in the ring, you just hear "Ooh, so!"
Yep.
Ooh!
I feel kind of bad for him because he'll never get away from that.
So
it'll work for him, but
just lean into it and go join your brothers.
Yes, do that.
Get in the bloodline.
Yep. So finally, last thing on NXT here, we had Carmelo Hayes defending his North American Championship against the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne. He retains the title, and after the match, he announces he will defend the title at Stand and Deliver in Dallas in the match that the title was founded on, which is a ladder match.
Cool.
Sweet.
And that is your recap for the WWE.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sure. All right, AJ, we got Dynamite and Rampage, man, last week before we break down the Revolution card up to this point. So get us rolling here, Scissor.
AEW Dynamite this week featured wrestling and talking. Moving on. Like, what would you do if that was I didn't watch them? I was like, no time. Anyways, what are we talking about? Oh, right. Dynamite starts with a tag team battle royale. Who was in this battle royale, you might ask? Let's see if I can name them all off real quick. The Gun Club, FTR, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish, otherwise known as Red Dragon 2.0. The Young Bucks, The Butcher and the Blade, awful. Best Friends, Santana and Ortiz, Private Party, and The Dark Order. That would be John Silver and Alex Reynolds. That is a lot of people in the ring at one time, especially the Gun Club. Who doesn't love the Gun Club?
Well, I mean, we don't necessarily just love them. We really love them since we were this week's winners of the Billy Gunn Golden Belly Button Ring Award. I mean, I don't know. I forgot already that we won.
That is a prestigious goddamn award, too. Not it's not like the Billy Gunn. It's like Billey, and then the gun is with 3 N's. But it's still a prestigious award, and I was happy to have won it.
That's right.
So this match, there's a lot going on in this match. And of course, this is for the right to fight Jurassic Express on Revolution. So, everyone's in there. Everyone's doing stuff, Matt Hardy walks out on Private Party. There's all kinds of Johnny Hungy chants, which I fucking marked out for because I
do. I love Johnny.
Johnny Hungy.
Johnny Hungy.
So, obviously it was hard to follow a lot because 2.0 gets hooved out. Nick Jackson gets thrown out. Red Dragon, gets Trent Barretta out, did blah, blah, blah. So many. It was hard to keep track. The ending, however, was so it was Jackson and Kyle O'Reilly double teamed Johnny Hungy, and then O'Reilly immediately betrays Jackson, which I thought was excellent storytelling, to give Red Dragon the win. So they will be facing Jurassic Express at Revolution coming up. It was a mess. Like, it was fine, but right result, I thought. Up next,
I agree.
Like, I liked all of those tag teams and would have been fine with any of them winning, but I like that it was.
I just don't like how afterwards, Young Bucks were like, what the fuck were you doing? And it's like, it's a fucking match.
Yeah, we're in the match. Like, the fact that we're waiting to get it.
What was that out there? You guys just wrestling? Like,
yeah, like,
what was that?
Trying to win for your team? Like,
you just doing what you're supposed to? What the fuck, dude?
Come on, Young Bucks, shut the fuck up. But I do like that, it's some dissension, so we're going to see that feud coming up. And I do hope it's for a title.
You guys sip your coffee. Did you guys see the picture that the Young Bucks took outside of WWE headquarters?
No.
Yeah.
What was it?
Yeah, I saw they actually did a video of it.
Yeah. They sent a picture too, and Kevin Nash commented on the picture, and he said, everybody wants to play for the Yankees. And Nick Jackson said, not when the Red Sox pay just as much, and you got to play half as many games or something like that. And then Kevin texted back, said, I taught you guys well, and they were like, yeah, you're one of the pioneers or whatever. But yeah, anyway, thought it was funny.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, dude. They were like, they said something in the video like, where are we at? And they're like some crappy place, right? Yeah. And then they like pan up and it's WWE headquarters.
Yeah. That's funny. Fucking trolls. Up next, we have MJF giving what I thought was one of his best promos ever. It was so heartfelt and babyface, and it was all about how when he was a kid, he looked up to CM Punk and he wanted to, basically be CM Punk, and he got him through, when the kids in school would bully him and blah, 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 and about how he has no quit in him. And like, it was obviously all bullshit. But when Punk made his way to the ring, he was like, dude, you fucking serious? Like, is this serious? And MJF just walks off. Like, yeah, I thought it was great. Like, it was like, obviously no one believes it because MJF is just he's a horrible, horrible, smarmy heel. But I still like that little touch that he's trying to play mind games with CM Punk.
Yeah, because obviously he's going to be like, because CM Punk was like, was that real? And he's like, yeah, it's real. And then like fucking walks off or something. Yeah. And now, CM Punk is going to have like one little soft spot, one chink in the armor there. And MJF's going to be like, got you, fucker.
Yep. Yeah. And probably no, I don't think he'll get the win. But I'm looking forward to this whole card. Up next, we have House of Black and versus Penta El Cero Miedo and Pac. Why do I always say Pac? I only mentioned this for two reasons. Penta Oscuro. What do you guys think of the new look?
I like it.
Love it.
Yeah, he's had a couple different iterations. My favorite is the one where he comes out where he's got the helmet on. It's got like the antlers sticking out of it. Yeah. I can't. Yeah, it's like he's like some sort of soldier. But yeah, it was cool.
This is my favorite one though. Oscuro means dark, by the way.
I was gonna say Penta Dark was one of the best things in Lucha Underground.
Yes, it was. I was so glad to see it, and and he's in this persona because Malachi Black, sprayed him with the goo.
And another thing about that is when he came out to as Penta Oscuro, I was like, he would be fucking awesome in House of Black.
Yes, he would. That's what I think should happen.
Right.
Because Ray Phoenix is done for
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, a sizable amount of time. So fucking put him in House of Black. And bolster it even more because, first of all, Pac and Oscuro got the win. But then, and also Malachi Black took the pin. Yeah, I don't know if I like that, but whatever. And then who comes out? But a debuting Buddy Murphy.
Buddy Murphy.
I loved it. And at first, I thought that he was just going to go straight for Malachi Black because obviously, storyline-wise, Buddy Murphy's the one who fucked his eye up.
Yep.
But nope, he immediately joins House of Black, and I got even more excited because I was like, that's so fucking cool.
I like how they acknowledge that, though. They're like, they have history here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like histories matter. Like we were arguing about that, or not arguing. We were talking
I
about
like
this.
it. I just don't know if Buddy fits. He don't even have any tattoos, so I don't know.
I mean, they can throw us some.
I love Buddy. I just don't know if he fits.
I was gonna say, you know what? He's like a great wrestler too, and he's awesome.
Yes.
But is his gimmick just like being a follower? Because he was
in everything, like being a henchman.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. He doesn't talk much, that's for sure.
Well, he's not the best talker in the world.
No.
But I do. I like Buddy Murphy a lot, so I was super excited to see it. And obviously, if he's with House of Black, he won't have to talk much. But yeah, you're right. He doesn't have the right look for it. But
didn't they look like obviously they were later on they do like the little video or something, and then he's back there with them too. Yeah. But you remember when Bray Wyatt used to slap Eric Rowan in the head and stuff like that? Is that you think that it'll be kind of the same dynamic where like Malachi is just an asshole to Buddy?
I hope not, because I think that eventually Buddy Murphy is going to beat Malachi Black. Because Buddy Murphy is like the only person that Malachi Black, like they showed it kind of when he debuted. Like Malachi Black was kind of like
it's like, oh shit, this guy.
Yeah, this guy fucked me
anybody but you.
So I don't know. Like I hope that they book it correctly, but I don't know. I just love Buddy Murphy. Up next, we had a face-to-face with Chris Jericho and Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston is so goddamn over. It's amazing. Chris Jericho did the right thing and played the smarmy asshole heel. Called him a jobber, all this good stuff. And
I think this was the best part about Dynamite or Rampage was their exchange right here. So
absolutely agree.
Yeah.
This is the best that Chris Jericho has been in months.
And he's shredded right now.
Yeah, he's leaning out
for sure.
Somebody said that too. Somebody said we're getting like was it top prime heel Jericho because he's getting shredded.
Yeah, which is weird because I like Dad Bod Jericho is the funniest one to me. So, but yeah, he's looking in like he's in good shape. So this match, I'm looking forward to this match probably the most. No, that's not true. Second, I'm looking forward to it. To end out, we'll skip the Ricky Starks beat Preston Vance for the Face of the Revolution qualifying ladder match thingy, which is whatever.
Yeah.
And then TBS Championship match, Jade Cargill versus the Bunny again. Whatever. Like, it's two heels, and Jade Cargill's continuing to look better, but I don't care yet.
Okay.
So that's the end of Rampage, or Dynamite, and quickly through Rampage, because it's a short show.
Yeah.
Sammy Guevara versus Andre El Idolo.
Idolo! El Idolo!
For the
El Idolo!
For the TNT Championship.
This was a good match.
It was. Like, these two were great together.
Yeah.
And I mean,
he works great with everybody.
It's true. I mean, Sammy Guevara,
when he wrestles once every few months.
Yes. See, he's so versatile too. Like, one of my main concerns with Sammy Guevara is he's so great, but he doesn't do a whole lot. Like, he does
Spanish God.
He does a lot of this. He's like Rob Van Dam. Like early Rob Van Dam, where he's super awesome and fun to watch, but there's not a lot of variation in what he does. Which isn't a problem yet, but just a thing that I noticed. Great match. Sammy Guevara gets the win. Up next, we have a Wardlow squash match against Nick Camarado. That's fine. Another segment with Serena Deeb squashing some other jobber. Getting bored with these. And then, to close the show, Michael's favorite and my favorite, Orange Cassidy against Anthony Bowen featuring Max Caster. If I could reach through my screen and smack Max Caster, I would have.
Yo, listen.
God. Also, I hate how good you are at that impression. Yo.
Because I'm a mark for those guys.
Listen. He just sounds like he wants to take a nap.
All right, AJ, let's get to this Revolution card, man.
Yes, let's. So, this is, of course, on Saturday, March 6th. Is that right?
Yeah. No, Sunday. It's Sunday, actually.
Oh, Sunday, March 6th.
And I actually looked it up. I wanted to see what they're charging. $49.99 for this weekend.
Yeah, that seems fine.
Yeah, it's fair.
I mean, I'm not going to pirate it. I'm going to pay full price. So, we have Wardlow versus Keith Lee versus Powerhouse Hobbs versus Ricky Starks versus Orange Cassidy versus someone being determined tonight on Dynamite for the Face of the Revolution match. What do you guys think?
Claudio is the other, and he wins.
You think so? That's
what I'm going.
So even with Wardlow and Keith Lee in there? Like, I think this is a problematic match. Like, I think Keith Lee wins.
I think that's the attractive pick. Wardlow will fall out for something with the storyline with MJF.
Yeah.
Like Chairman Spears will screw him over somehow or something, by accident. It's like how they'll make it, look, you know what I mean? So
another kind of a throwaway match. We have Andrade El Idolo, Matt Hardy, and Isaiah Cassidy versus Sting, Darby Allin, and Sammy Guevara. Faces. I think the faces are going to win this. Yeah. Like, how could they not?
Sure.
I mean, yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Like, why?
Just to get Sting on there.
I mean, yeah, cool. It's cool. It's a cool match.
It is.
Don't get me wrong.
But it doesn't mean a whole lot.
Yeah.
Up next, Chris Jericho versus Eddie Kingston. I really look forward to this match.
I love to see Eddie go over, man. What's the chances Eddie wins this? I mean, let's talk about it.
90. I think they're pretty damn high, honestly.
Yeah, I hope so. But I hope
honestly, Jericho, as we've said many, many times, he is a mark for the business. He works hard for the business. And I believe he believes in pushing talent. So
yeah, I think he wants to do the job for Eddie.
I like it.
Up next, we have a match that I totally forgot to talk about: Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley. Really quick on Dynamite, they had it was Bryan Danielson against Daniel Garcia, and Danielson got the win, obviously. And then there was an attack, and Moxley made the save. So set up this match. This is the match I'm most looking forward to.
So they're going to bleed together, right? Is that what we're going to do here?
Yes, and I'm going to go with Moxley.
Yeah,
as will I. It'll be the first time he actually beats him.
Yes.
Yeah. Fair
and
enough.
I don't think Moxley's going to turn heel. Like, I read somewhere that they might do like a tweener for two of them, which fits both their characters perfectly, anyways. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
Up next, MJF for CM Punk. I'm going to go with Punk.
I'm going with MJF. I think he keeps the storyline going.
Oh, you don't think this is the blow off?
No, I don't think it's a blow off. I think MJF still keeps the storyline going. Eventually, MJF moves to the title picture. CM Punk comes back later after MJF has the title. They do the feud again.
But I think if MJF wins, that does not keep the story going.
You think it's a blow off either way?
Because I think if CM Punk wins, then they got to go to a rubber match.
Sure. Probably. I guess it probably depends on how. But even if MJF goes up 2-0 on Punk, like, I don't think that's like a feud ender.
Yeah,
it'll be 3-0.
I'm
gonna stick twice in Chicago in the same night.
I'm gonna stick with Punk.
That's right.
Yeah, I also choose Punk in this one.
Up next, Jade Cargill versus Tay Conti. I'm going Jade Cargill. Like, obviously, she's not losing anytime soon.
Tay's dating Sammy, and now she's getting these title shots now, huh? Is this what we're doing here?
Whatever. I love Tay Conti. She can get all the title shots she wants.
Yeah. Jade here.
Yeah.
Jade. Yeah. Same.
Up next, we have Jurassic Express versus Red Dragon, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish versus another TBD, who I don't even know who else they're gonna throw in there. Young Bucks, like
I hope it's the besties.
I would like that. I think we'll figure that out tonight on Dynamite as well. Obviously,
private party or some shit.
I'm gonna go with Red Dragon.
Okay.
I don't care who the third one is. I'm gonna pick. Red Dragon.
Yeah. Well, I think it's too early for. It's for the titles, right? I don't think they're going to drop them yet. But Red Dragon's going to look good here.
Yes. Actually, maybe they. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the Red Dragon. Primo, what do you think?
What about FTR?
As being inserted in the match?
As the TBD?
Do you think they win?
Or Pride and Powerful?
Yeah.
But either way, I agree, Red Dragon.
So here's a controversial take that I'm going to have. I think that Thunder Rosa is going to beat Britt Baker for the AEW Women's Championship.
I would like that. I'm a Thunder
I'm
Rosa
not
mark,
against
so.
that. It kind of feels like it's about time, doesn't
Yeah.
it? You know what I mean? Like Britt's
Well, she's held it for 10 years, so.
Yeah, Britt's had it, and she's
Has she?
established herself. I think she's going to join a little faction with Adam Cole and
Baby.
So,
Baby.
I like that. I'll go with you on that, AJ, too. I'll take
Thunder
Thunder
Rosa?
with you.
Yeah.
What up,
Yeah,
bro?
I gotta agree with you. I take Thunder Rosa as well. I'd be super excited for that.
Weird. All three of us are picking the upset and title change.
I like it. You made me realize it's time, I think.
Yeah, it's been like a year. And then finally we have Hangman Adam Page versus Adam Cole, baby.
Oh, I should have waited.
I mean, they both work. Oh, that's fine.
Adam Page retains here.
Agreed.
Yeah, the current Adam retains.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
This is going to be a typical Adam Cole match, though. I think. He's going. Yeah. Yep, I think so. All right, AJ.
That is the AEW Revolution pay-per-view card.
I like it.
It's
Definitely watching
Sunday?
this one. Sunday night. Yeah. Yep. 8:00 Eastern time. Live on the pay-per-views.
Oh yeah, Bleacher Report, love it.
Yep. Actually the last pay-per-view I watched through Bleacher Report was the first time I ever used them, and it was
They're great.
Yeah.
Actually,
yeah. So if you're skeptical, don't be worried. We can vouch. It's good.
No hiccups, no like buffering issues. Bleacher Report, that'll be $10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or free pay-per-view.
True.
I mean, that's more than $10. We haven't earned that yet.
All right, let me get to these Impact results. I got some Impact results for you, and then we're going to quickly go over the Sacrifice card that is coming up this Saturday night. So, all right, so Impact last week, real quick, Moose cuts a promo, says that he's the best, yada, 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 and basically that, he is the only champion in wrestling that needs to be acknowledged.
Whoa. What you got to say about that?
Acknowledge me.
Right. So, Heath, baby! Gator Slater comes out to start a feud with Moose. Moose says...
He's got kids.
He's got kids. Moose says, basically, I don't care about you, your wife. And he says, or your ugly-ass kids. He said ugly ass, too. It was
Damn,
great.
they're ugly?
Oh, he called him ugly ass. So, obviously, they
Ugly
brawl.
ass.
They got a match now at Sacrifice. Matt Cardona retained the digital media title versus Jordan Grace. Lady Frost answers Deonna Purrazzo's open challenge. Now, this is kind of cool. All right, so Deonna Purrazzo's got the AAA Women's and she's got Ring of Honor. Well, when she does these open challenges, she lets whoever comes out pick which belt they want to go for. So it's pretty cool. So she comes out.
She's also, by the way, she's also the pretty good wrestling promotion.
Pretty good.
Women's champion.
So it's kind of cool. So Lady Frost comes out. She chooses the AAA title, but loses, of course. And then a couple more notes. Gorillas of Destiny is officially out of the Bullet Club. And Gail Kim is basically now like the general manager for Impact. So she's on there a lot.
That's dope.
Yeah. I love
All right, guys. So main event, Honor No More beats Impact Wrestling once again. Eddie Edwards comes out to address why he turned on Impact Wrestling at the No Surrender pay-per-view. Basically, he said the corruption inside of Ring of Honor is the same corruption going on inside of Impact, and he will stand with Honor No More to make sure the same doesn't happen here in Impact. and basically said and walks off, and Honor No More goes with him. So that's how Impact goes off. So let's get to this sacrifice card. Let's make some picks here real quick, guys. We got Jay White versus Alex Shelley.
I'm going to go with Alex Shelley just because I love Alex Shelley.
Primo obviously going with Shelley with the finger.
I would like to go with Alex Shelley, but I'm going to go with King Switch.
Switchblade, baby. All right, how about Tag Team Championship, Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championship. The Inspiration, Cassie Lee and Jesse McKay versus the Influence, Madison Rain, Tennille Dashwood, and Caleb with a K.
How long has Inspiration had the...
Since they've debuted, basically.
That was what, like 5 months ago?
Yeah, roughly.
I'm gonna stick with them.
Okay.
Excuse me. I believe it is time for a change.
Okay. Sounds good. I think it's probably time for a change, too. I'm going to lean that way, too. All right, next up, Impact X Division Championship. Trey Miguel, the champion, versus Jake. What's my name?
Something. Something!
All right. Although, I love Jake Something, but I don't think he's taking the title here yet. What do you guys think?
I agree. I don't think he is. I want him to because he's awesome.
I also agree with that.
All right, fun match here, guys. Jonah versus PCO.
I honestly have no idea.
I mean, Jonah's hot. PCO just came in. I'm going to say schmazzy DQ or something, but Jonah probably should go over here, I think.
Yeah, I think Jonah goes over, but I agree with you because all the Honor No More stuff.
That's right. I don't know.
It'll be messed up.
Yep. All right, so how about the Impact World Championship? Does Heath win the title from Moose?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes, he does.
AJ
I like Heath, and I wish he was like a champion somewhere, but I just don't see him taking it off from the Moose.
Well, you guys are incorrect.
We're going with the Moose. All right, a singles match. We got Eddie Edwards now representing Honor No More versus Rhino representing Impact Wrestling. Eddie just made the turn. I think Eddie goes over here.
Yep. I think this is an easy one.
That's
Eddie
just
Edwards.
good business.
It is. All right, last one for the Impact World Tag Team Championship. Violent by Design with Eric Young and Joe Doring are still challenging Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson. Bullet Club just got back together. Jay White.
Retain.
Retain.
Yeah, you can't put the titles on fucking Violent by Design yet.
Yeah, no.
Although we are big Eric Young fans here.
Yes,
I do like EY, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
not
Always
quite
have.
yet.
In every iteration, I've liked EY.
All right, boys. Good job there. That'll conclude the weekly recap. Make sure you guys tune in.
Hardcore country!
Yes. We'll make sure you guys tune in next week. We'll go back over these results from Revolution and from Impact Sacrifice. So that is it for the recap.
Hey, this is Buck Nasty, Bucky Collins, and you're listening to Sit Down Marks.
All right, it's a brand new month here, and we always switch our subjects for things we like to talk about each month. That being called the Dropkick Discussion of the Week. We just finished off Sunday Night Heat in February. Now we moved on to March. We are now covering famous WrestleMania matches, and we decided to start off with a big one about Ricky Steamboat, Randy Macho Man Savage for the Intercontinental title, which was allegedly one of the co-main events of WrestleMania 3. But, it was definitely the second biggest match on that card that night next to Hogan.
King Kong Bundy?
Hogan slamming Andre that night. So, this one match is often referred to as the greatest match of all time. Now, we're going to go over this match and talk about it, and then we're going to kind of do some pros and cons here and see if this match still holds up to this point. So, all right, so we have Randy Savage with Elizabeth versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat with George the Animal Steel. This was for Randy's Intercontinental title. Now, like I said, this was billed as the co-main event of Mania 3. at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan, of course. March 29th, 1987. 93,000 people there allegedly in attendance.
93,000.
And this was basically the pinnacle of 80s wrestling. So, all right, so a couple notes here. Definitely. So this was considered by many to be the greatest match ever, because of storylines, how the match basically had everything: emotions, betrayal, deceit, revenge. You go through the motions watching this match, just great wrestling on top of it, emotional, it just sends you through the roller coaster of emotions. So, basically, this match was a hero's tale, conquering the villain. This was the first time the Intercontinental title changed hands at WrestleMania, although there had only been 2 previously to that, but this was the first time the IC title changed hands. So, all right, so backstory. Randy Savage attacked Ricky Steamboat after a WWF Superstar show one night. Ricky gets a worked throat injury from the ringside bell that Randy had hit him with. So he was recovering from this injury until Mania 3, where, he would get back to this match with Randy Savage. Now, they allegedly practiced this match for about, what I read is about 2 months, because Randy was such a perfectionist and wanted this to be right and come off perfectly as it did. He just wanted to make sure everything was. So they practiced this thing down, for a long time. So, and a lot of times, this match resonates with a lot of critics, because this was the first match, boys, where we seen like a lot of false finishes.
A lot of false
21
finishes.
of them, I think, in the 15 minutes.
I meant to count them, but then
yeah. So this one kind of kick-started that whole generation of doing the kickouts. So and quick kickouts too, like ones. There was a lot of ones and stuff. So anyway, so get back to the match. True babyface revenge comeback story. So pre-match, they talked to a doctor who was probably a wrestler, and they just put a doctor's jacket on him. But yeah, but he says that Ricky Steamboat has healed phenomenally. And Mean Gene says it's because of his heart is the reason why he's been able to recover from this injury.
His heart healed his throat.
His heart healed his throat. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Because he has such a big heart here. So,
that's
all
how,
right. So,
if you want to heal, you just have to want it really badly.
Right. Yeah.
Scientific.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So let me get to these entrances here, and then we'll talk here for a second. So Howard Finkel comes out. He announces both the wrestlers. They come out to the ring to their music. They're riding these little ring-shaped carts.
I forgot how much I love those.
Back and forth, which was
like
really
kings.
cool.
The tiny rings.
So Savage comes out. He's always in character. As soon as they get in the ring, he does his twirl, and then he's immediately pointing at where he wants Elizabeth to stand. You notice that,
he keeps moving her around.
Yeah, moving around, controlling her. Like if somebody gets close to her, he would move her. You know what I mean? So we can, and then when George the Animal Steel and Ricky come out, we immediately see George give Liz the eyeball from across the ring, to kind of put that little story in there that, something's going to be happening here. So Gorilla Monsoon comes on and says the title can only change hands by submission or pinfall. Elizabeth looks great as usual. The ref is Dave Hebner.
I thought it was Earl Hebner.
His name is Earl Hebner.
Is it?
They call him Dave Hebner in the thing.
Well, they're twins. There's 2 of them. There's twins.
Oh, okay. Well, that was Dave Hebner then.
It was Dave?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I'll say that wasn't Dave. That was Dave. So, so he's the ref here. And, and right before we get to the bell here, man, what do you guys have here up until the match starts?
So I love the build just because it is like he was the biggest babyface probably in the history of wrestling before John Cena, I would say. Like a pure white meat babyface. And Macho Man was just a disgusting heel. And they played the injury angle into it. And I didn't like Ricky Steamboat's promo beforehand. Because he spoke with a weird accent. I'm like,
that's why I put it in the intro.
It's like you're from Oklahoma. Like, what do you do? I don't know if he's actually from Oklahoma, but he's from somewhere.
Get you with the fire, the dragon of the fire.
I'm going to take my title back. It's like, well, stop talking like that.
However, yeah.
But I was the build to it got me excited for the match.
All I had was love Macho Man for the beginning. Love Macho Man. He couldn't figure out where he wanted Elizabeth, and I just wrote Steamboat when she took off his blouse. Steamboat is an absolute unit.
Yes,
dude
he's a beast.
Beast. Yes.
Yeah, there was a reason why all of our moms, well, maybe loved Ricky. You know what I mean? Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought it was his sexy accent. He's from West Point, New York, by the way.
Oh, wow. He's from. Yeah. Another thing that caught my attention, this is something that, just grabs my attention because of the time that we're in now. I love all the flashing cameras.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
every time. I like
great,
it.
Man.
You can
gone.
really notice that. I know it's not what we're talking about right now, but you can really notice that if you go back and watch The Rock's entrances.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, that's gone now with cell phones, you know what I mean? So it's, but anyway. All right. So, this match, it was a beautifully laid out match. They get to a really fast paced start. Steamboat, obviously the best arm drag in the business, and nobody argues that. So we see now why right off the bat he is the best ever. They take turns being in control, he's getting a couple arm drags on Savage. Savage starts to target Ricky's throat again, so we kind of get that angle. Crowd starts to boo, so you got to touch on that. So this is great storyline telling right there that you got to, kind of go in for that. And then, here come the pinfall attempts. One after the other, great wrestling, back and forth going on, roll ups, small packages, schoolboys, like everything, everybody's, they're popping out of them. Savage starts to really dig in as a heel as he attacks Ricky outside the ring, including the infamous double axe handle off of the top. You can't fuck with. You're right, AJ.
He doesn't even jump. He falls.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part about it.
He just falls.
He just falls. It's great. I love it. He always does that too. It's fantastic.
It's just synonymous with Savage, like the double axe handle, man.
It's one of his things. It's great.
King me.
Yeah, so funny here. Jesse Ventura is really stressing that the ref is pro Steamboat, and then about that time, it was like almost on cue. Ricky starts to rally with a ton of chops, right?
All the chops.
Yeah, George starts to inch his way a little closer to Liz in the outside. Randy says, "Fuck that!" Gets out of the ring, moves her all the way to the other corner where she is, post to pillar away from. From Liz, which is awesome storytelling there too, and then so a little bit later we go through another rally of false finishes back and forth. I think they're trying to get up to 20 here at this moment. But
they had a tally going.
Yep. And then we get the ref bump spot. Basically, Macho throws Ricky into the ref, so he is out.
Macho. Like a fish.
Yes, he is out. He just flops him out. Macho hits the elbow off the top, for the pin. Ref is out, so he is not seeing it here. So Macho goes and gets the timekeeper's bell again, like he's going to jump in and do the injury all over. Crowd is booing like crazy, and then George pushes Savage away and kind of saves Ricky here at this point. So Savage just like, all right, well, fuck it. So he just jumps up off the top rope. The bell flies out of his hand. The ref wakes up. Savage grabs Ricky like he was going to attempt to move on him. And then Ricky then gets Macho in sort of a roll-up small package, kind of for the win. Now, if I was watching this match live, as good as that match was going, I think that would have caught me off guard. You know what I mean? Make your jokes if you want. But in '87, I was 12, so I wasn't picking up on this stuff. But
for sure,
and
it wasn't as common. Yeah,
right. It wasn't as common. But
this wasn't common. Period.
Right.
I don't know if I've ever seen a match like this before.
So that's
that
how the match was laid out up until that point. What do you guys got? Like, what did you see during the match here that jumped out at you?
So, well, first, like Primo said, like Ricky Steamboat is just absolutely jacked. And Savage is as well. But this was like, so one of the reasons
Ricky's
why.
tan too. Ricky's very tan.
Yeah.
Very tan. They're both so nimble, like especially Macho. Like he does the move where he jumps over the top rope and lands on the ground and does the and he's tan, he's Asian.
Got it all going. He's got it all going for him.
He's got everything going. That was like the third episode.
That was best baby faces or something. Whatever we did.
No, he's got it all. He's built. He's tan. He's Asian. Oh my god. I don't even remember what I was saying now. I just keep thinking of Ricky Steamboat being Asian.
That reminds me of the women's wrestling. They're women.
They're women.
And they wrestle.
They're women. They wrestle. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So yeah, you were talking about how jacked he is.
Oh yeah, and how nimble Macho Man is, and like the whole thing was so fast paced, which is another thing that you're just not used to seeing at that particular moment in time.
Yeah.
And you know, there's like psychology and ring action going on, which again is. You don't normally get both of those things. Normally you just have plotting Hulk Hogan matches. So it's I don't know, like we'll get into the discussion about it later, but that's what I have. Like the false finishes again, I stopped counting, I think like 18 or something like that. But
it was around 21 is where they ended up.
It was the end caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Too. Like I wasn't. I mean, obviously they set the match up that way with all the false finishes. Like, and then it's going to catch everyone off guard. Which I don't know if that was a good decision or a bad decision, because the fact that the crowd was caught off guard, it didn't give them that satisfying, 1, 2, blah.
Right, yeah.
Like,
right. He didn't hit like his finisher, or nothing like that. To it was a roll up, to win. So, Primo, what'd you think, man?
So. Once again, like I said, Steamboat's an absolute unit. Always a fan of his deep arm drag. Got to put it out there. Obviously, it was already said, but like we said, nobody will combat that, and it's just awesome.
Perhaps you forget about a little guy called the Red Rooster.
Terry Taylor, baby.
Terry Taylor.
So at one point, Steamboat and Savage were going so fast. I just kept cracking up at how Dave Hebner was doing his best to stay out of the way.
Yes.
Yeah, he was.
And then I don't remember exactly what Ricky Steamboat was doing, but Jesse Ventura goes, "You got to get up pretty early in the morning to outsmart Macho Man."
It's like, what does that have to do with the matches?
Is that like an early bird gets the worm kind of deal?
Yeah.
He also said miscarriage of justice, which...
Did you talk about how he had a foot on the ropes?
No.
We're not there yet? All right. That's all I got then.
No. I'm through the match part. I didn't I didn't mention anything about that.
Okay, well, you're done with the match?
Yep.
All right, so I cracked up how Hebner was demonstrating that Savage's foot was on the ropes. Like, he was like to the whole 93,000. He like very visibly was like, foot was like on the rope.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's getting in for himself there a little bit.
Yeah.
This is before he went out back and sold some T-shirts out of his van. Allegedly.
Right next to Virgil. I like how Steamboat tried every pinning combination possible. Like everyone, schoolboy, small package, roll up, sunset flip, all of them. Yeah, and then I said, you remember? So the ref bump. Imagine, because they do what was it? Irish rip or something, like counter Irish rip into a ref bump. Imagine if Dave Hebner just stood up and just and Ricky Steamboat just gets floored.
Like Ricky goes,
yeah,
right.
And then I just said at the end there, Steamboat caught Savage slipping when he finally got him with one of his 50 pin attempts.
Yeah.
Also, I forgot to mention, like, these are the, in my head, the most iconic Macho Man tights. Just the yellow boots and the pink Macho Man trunks, made famous by CM Punk, obviously.
Yeah, right. All right, so Ricky Steamboat's the new Intercontinental Champion. The crowd goes nuts. Jesse Ventura, right after that, says this is one of the greatest matches ever. So it comes right out of his mouth, right off the bat, and watching it live. And we see George Animal Steel and Ricky Dragon leaving together with the title. They leave in the little ring again.
And the tiny ring.
The tiny ring. And then we see Macho and Liz. Macho looking dejected, selling it all the way to the back. The baby face revenge story comes back and everybody goes home happy basically with, such a great storyline here. So Steamboat would hold the title for about 3 months until he lost it on WWF Superstars to, any guess?
Honky Tonk Man.
One Honky Tonk Man who would then hold it for 454 days.
I'm just a honky tonk man.
All right, so
just a honky tonk man.
Let's talk about it, boys.
He's a honky tonk man.
We've seen a lot of wrestling since WrestleMania 3, obviously. Okay, so a lot of people still say this is one of the greatest matches ever. Is it still one of the greatest matches ever? If so, why? If not, why not? And then, where would you rank this match? Would you rank it top 5, top 10, top 20? What do you think? Okay, Primo, start us off.
Yeah, so I would say yes. You mentioned, is it one of the greatest matches ever? Yes. Why? Because not only was it great for its time, but it gives everybody, even if you're starting out now or if you started out 20 years ago, you have a template, right?
Sure.
So storytelling, the false finishes, all the, everything in the match. There's a good template there that basically says this is what an excellent match can look like.
So you're saying this is wrestling 101 right here.
Right, exactly.
This is everything in a nutshell.
Right. And for that reason, I'd say top 10, basically what due to what we had since then. But it's definitely one of the greatest for sure.
Okay, so I have a bit of a complicated answer because I thought a lot about this. Is this one of the greatest matches of all time? Absolutely not. We see better matches every week on Dynamite. Is this one of, if not the most influential / important matches of all time? Yes. 100%. This match basically invented modern wrestling with the work rate, the storytelling, this match has every single thing that modern matches today have. Again, like the action, it was great. It's obviously Macho Man and Ricky Steamboat. But again, you can find Seth Rollins and KO doing the same things, only with more action. But that wasn't how it was back then. Like back then, it was Hulk Hogan, chopping, hulking up, and then hitting a leg drop. That was it.
Fucking leg drop.
There was no story. There was no. I mean, they tried to have story, but there was no in-ring psychology. This match had all of that. So I wouldn't even put this in the best matches that I've watched this year. But I don't think there will ever be a more important match than this one right here.
Yeah, that was kind of the angle I was going to go because, okay, so I think guys that are a little older, kind of like myself, older, grew up, let's say grew up on Hogan. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of those guys, including myself, yes, that is one of the greatest matches ever. And we kind of have to hold on to it because it was kind of like from our era in quotation.
Nostalgia.
What else do you have to hold on
right,
to?
Yeah.
It's like nostalgia factor, yeah.
Right. And like one of you guys said, it's the blueprint for a match.
Yeah.
I loved back reading this about it because of, these guys. It was almost like they knew this was going to be a super important match in history because they practiced it so much.
Yeah.
And planned it and wanted it to be perfect. And all the, for, a lot of times for me, like what makes wrestling is, it's not always about the wrestling or the promos. To me, it's like the little nuances, like, the lust in your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like he saw the way Hulk was looking at Elizabeth, you know what I'm saying? And then, in this little thing, like, Macho moving Liz away from George, just small little things like that kind of like added to the story. So, wrestling matches, yes, this was a phenomenally great, well put on wrestling match. Like I said, went through all the emotions. Like I love it, top to bottom, storyline, everything. Now, and like in agreement with AJ, we have seen a ton of great matches since then. We have seen this storyline done a bunch since then, probably better in a lot of times because they could get more risky with it, or you know what I mean, or they can be a little more so like when I said, hey, we're going to debate whether this is still one of the greatest matches in history, or not, like, yes, I still think it is, but I'm going to err on the side of nostalgia because we've seen so many great matches, and that one's, but like Primo said, this was 1987, the pinnacle of 80s wrestling. We had the 90s era coming up. This was the template for laying out a fantastically perfect match. So, I guess I'm going to be a little bit on the fence. I'm going to say this is still, yes, one of the greatest matches ever, but only in nostalgia reasons because we've seen a lot of matches, Now, my question is, now we got to rank this match. I don't want you to put a number on it. Is this top 5, 10, 15, 20? I don't think, respectfully, we can put anything past 20. I just don't think, like, we're insane because although this is nostalgia history and there might be plenty of other matches, like, you kind of have to put this one in there because it kick-started.
Right. Well, it's a lot of matches wouldn't exist without this match.
Sure.
Yeah. No matches.
So rate it for me.
I gotta say, I mean, I gotta take back what I said earlier, and we'll bump it to definitely top 15.
Okay.
There's just so many good matches.
Sure.
But obviously, like I said, a lot of those matches in that top 15 would not exist if not for this match.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you, right now I'm just imagining, like, being the wrestling fan that I am at my current age and being back then and seeing this match, my mind would have been blown for years. This is the match that I would be talking about, like, forever. So I'm going to say top 5, like top 5 of all time, because again, it made everything that we love today.
Yeah.
A thing. Like,
yeah. I mean, I'll agree. But I thought out of all of us, if there was going to be a guy that probably held this one a little closer to his heart, it's probably going to be me. Just from that era. But I'm not. I'm going to be a realist on this. I'm going to put this in the top 20 because there's just so many damn good matches. With storylines like I said. I don't. And, I could probably name 15 matches, that would probably be, just as good, if not more. And that's why, it's hard. But like nostalgia reasons, this is definitely one of the greatest matches of all time. It changed wrestling history. It was awesome to go back and watch it. I watched it twice because I like to watch it first with notes and then watch it again, like as a fan or vice versa. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
I do it the opposit way.
It was cool.
Once as a fan and then notes.
Yeah. So it's cool to, getting to be able to watch it again. So, all right, guys. So final notes as we've on Macho Savage here. Macho and Ricky.
Macho Savage.
Macho Savage.
Macho Steamboat.
Ricky versus Dragon.
Man, it was good. I really liked that we started off with this match. Obviously, we're going to go through time with these matches we're doing in March, but this is a good one to start off with, and it's just, I don't know, it's just watching, because I really did just watch this singular match. I've seen WrestleMania 3, but I went back specifically for this discussion to refresh myself on this singular match, and that was it. And the promos beforehand, and it was pretty cool. I liked rewatching that.
My final thought on it is I think it's the reason I put it in top 5, not greatest, but because I think it's one of the most important matches of all time.
Absolutely, it is.
Yeah. But again, best matches, I wouldn't even put it in the list of best matches I've watched this week.
Right,
but it's a classic, a timeless classic that every wrestling fan should watch.
Yeah. And if you're an aspiring wrestler, that's the first match you go watch.
Yeah, I feel like you go to wrestling school. That's probably on the curriculum. Yeah.
They should just have it on a constant reel, just run.
Like you go to film school and they make you watch like Citizen Kane or like Secret or Vertigo. Like you go to wrestling school, they should make you watch Steamboat Savage.
All right, so next week we're gonna keep it rolling. We're going with The Rock versus Hulk Hogan from WrestleMania X8. So go checking that one out. We're going to be breaking that one down, and that right there is the Dropkick Discussion of the week.
Woo!
I'm Dakota, and you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast.
All right, today's guest, man, we had a pleasure of talking to this guy, Gage Bright. He is the ringside commentator, announcer, cameraman for Zowa Live Wrestling. Looking forward to seeing him this Saturday night at the big show up in Sterling, Illinois. Gage is a very interesting man. Me and Primo had the pleasure of speaking with him. So Primo, I mean, this guy wears a lot of hats, huh?
Yeah, actually, he was a really, really fun guy to talk to, and we learned a few things here. That number one, AJ is going to be a big fan, and also he earned a couple points with you here on one of our long-standing questions of the show. So, gotta say, we loved having Gage on the show. Can't wait to have him back one day, and maybe one day Primo will come over to Zowa and call a match with him.
Yeah, man, that sounds like a plan. Well, here it is, man, our interview with Zowa Live ringside commentator, Gage Bright. All right, everybody, today's guest, well, this guy's a very busy man at Zowa Live wrestling shows. He's a ringside match commentator. You know, I've seen him work the camera. You know, he's a ringside announcer. This guy has many hats and many more, I'm sure, that we're going to talk about here. But he's here with us today to break down this big card we got going on this Saturday night in Sterling, Illinois. And he's actually from Sterling, Illinois. Please welcome, everybody, Mr. Gage Bright. Gage, how you doing today, my man? Thanks for being on the show, brother.
Hey, I'm doing good, man. Appreciate you guys for having me.
Hey, man.
Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Yeah, me and just 2 of the 3 marks today. You got me and Primo here, so it's going to be fun, man. Let's jump right into it here, man. So, Gage, how did all this? How did you get all these hats, man? How did all this come about? What led to Gage, sitting ringside at Zowa calling matches?
Oh, wow. Well, we're going to have to jump in the Wayback Machine here and go back to a company called Funky Monkey Wrestling. My cousin, for those who don't know, my cousin is actually Bailey Bright. He's one of the top guys in Zowa right now. He got his start with Bobby the Business Houston in Funky Monkey Wrestling, kind of as a ring crew guy, setting up, tearing down. And I thought that was cool as hell. And so I kind of started following him there, started just being an extra set of hands and watching some wrestling. And Bobby, then, I got moved up to the world of the timekeeper. I'm ringing the bell for each match. And of course, I thought I was just the hottest shit in the world at that time.
Yeah.
Working for Pat, that was great. And, had a good time there in Funky Monkey. But then, then Zowa took over and Zeke Zishi took over and kept doing most of that kind of stuff. Timekeeping, ringing the bell, ring crew, that kind of thing. And until about real late, late 2019, I was going to a show to watch Bailey, and Zeke asked me, he said, "Hey, will you ring announce tonight?" And I just kind of was like, sure, why not? And did that for a couple shows, I would say September, October, just kind of sitting back at the timekeeper table on the mic, ringing the bell, but announcing the guys to the ring. And
well, Gage, he probably heard your voice, right off the bat and was like, this guy needs to be calling matches. I don't know if anybody's ever told you this before. I'm sure somebody has. You have that kind of announcer's voice, like ringside commentator. Like, you sound like you were born to do this. Like, you have that voice. You're like one of those guys. So I'm sure Zeke heard you and thought, yeah, this is easy money right here, right?
I mean, I suppose, I did a couple of fill-in appearances, and then I was actually at my 9-to-5 job, sitting at my desk, and I got a Facebook message. He's like, "Hey, I want you to be, my ring announcer from here on out." And I was like, all right. And now, here, as they say, the rest is history.
Right. Very cool. So that answers my question. So you was there for Funky Monkey, which what as we know now as Zowa, and Mr. Havens talked about that when he was on. So what was that like, kind of experiencing the changeover, to a new, I guess, branding, with the new name coming aboard?
It was really interesting. I really went in with an open mind. Zeke had been around from Funky Monkey for a while, and he knew what he was doing. So I really figured good things were coming.
Sure.
I figured things were going to be doing really well. Things would continue, but it has, it's continued to be what it is, and it's just exploded. The success really exploded, and it's just been great to be a part of it. I consider myself to be pretty fortunate to be a cog in that wheel as it's continued to roll, and it's been great.
Yeah, man. Since we've come aboard, it seems like the crowds have gotten bigger. They're getting a lot of hungry wrestlers on the independent scene. Hartenbauer's the champion there. Him and Connor. That match just if I always say, if anybody asks me, what's one Zowa Live match to go watch, and I say, Hartenbauer and Connor, and Hartenbauer won the title. So, but yeah, it was, and it's got to be pretty cool to have wrestling basically in your backyard, right?
Oh yeah, I remember as a kid, I would go to WWE shows, going to Moline and Rosemont, and everywhere in between. So getting to actually be a part of it, and actually getting to be, a part of that show and a part of that entertainment, and a part of, because I always, I look out in the crowd and I always kind of see that, little Gage, jumping up and down, cheering, going crazy. I see that in the little kids ringside too. And it's cool to be a part of that. And it's cool to really bring that energy, especially right in your backyard.
Yeah, definitely. Do you do other things in the announcer, genre outside of wrestling? I know you are a Bradley alum, which if anybody doesn't know, that's in Peoria, Illinois. And you might have, I think I might have heard you talk about some Dixon Dukes football at one point.
Yeah. So I actually I do the radio play-by-play for Dixon High School. It's the next town over from Sterling, about 10-12 miles. East.
That's where the anniversary show is going to be, correct?
Yes, that'll be in Dixon. So I do the football play-by-play and some basketball play-by-play for WIXN radio out of Dixon as well. So definitely doing more than wrestling, and it keeps me busy, but I really enjoy it.
Well, I like Dixon Dukes because to me, it kind of sounds like a wrestler's name. I mean, it doesn't sound like a good wrestler's name. Like, from, 7'1" from Sterling, Illinois, Dixon Duke, like
Dixon Duke. Yes. There you go.
It sounds like it could totally, be a wrestler's name for sure. So, all right. So you do that. So that kind of, helps, keep your voice warm because, wrestling doesn't happen every weekend. It happens, a decent amount. Did you see or hear anyone on TV when you were young that maybe inspired you to be like, hey, I kind of like maybe want to do this and give it a shot? Or is it something that's come along a little bit later, and then now you're kind of diving into some of the old classic guys, you know what I mean?
Well, it's a little of both, honestly. Growing up, I realized pretty quickly I'm never going to be on a Wheaties box. I'm never going to be the star athlete. So that was pro athlete was out of the question pretty quick.
Right.
So, I thought, well, I love sports. What else could I try to do? And then, I started listening, you listen to guys like Jim Nantz and Kevin Harlan and Mike Breen doing NBA games, especially, you listen to guys like that and you're like, man, I really want to do this, and then you hear wrestling, of course. I mean, the standard bearer in wrestling has always kind of been Jim Ross.
Right.
Listening to Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler do their thing, or, going way back kind of Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan or Tony Schiavone on WCW and now AEW, a lot of those guys have all given me a lot of inspiration to want to be able to do this. And so, yeah, it's a little bit of both, kind of as I've gotten older, I've really started to watching more guys, listening to more. But also growing up, it was kind of like, okay, well, if I can't be an athlete, I can be the next, I can still be at the games and, being able to call it on TV and look good in a suit, I guess.
Yeah, for real, man. And, has there been that moment where you were kind of like, I kind of think like I have a voice to do this, when you got guys like me telling you have a voice for this, or maybe, somebody like Zeke that would, kind of put you in that position. Like, have you kind of had that aha moment? Like I have a little niche for this,
I think that kind of came in two different points. It kind of came like after the first football game for Dixon that I did. I kind of thought, okay, I'm feeling pretty good about this. But also, I think it came back in February of 2020 when Zowa actually had Dan Severn come in, and UFC
legend,
Hall of Famer, former NWA champion, just certified badass at every level.
Absolutely.
And, I was doing the show and everything, and people were cheering me as I got in the ring, just getting in the ring and doing my thing. And I thought, this is pretty cool. I think I might have something here that I really enjoy. So,
sure, yeah.
And I've enjoyed it ever since.
Nice. Well, all right. So you said Bailey's your cousin. Did you guys get into wrestling together? Did he get you into it, or vice versa? Or, where'd the love of wrestling come between you two?
Well, it didn't come together.
Okay.
Bailey and I went to school together from kindergarten up until about fourth grade. Then he moved to Oregon. But I had found wrestling kind of on my own. I remember just kind of I have a vague memory of just kind of looking at, I think, a Monday Night Raw and going, this looks cool. What is this? And then
right.
I just kept watching, and around that time, you guys like John Cena, Triple H, Kurt Angle, Undertaker, those guys were all huge. And so, watching all those guys do their thing, I thought, this is amazing, and then I've just loved it ever since.
Yeah, it's really cool, man. So you said you went and watched, you go watch some JR calling matches, and that kind of stuff to kind of get some, I guess, inspiration. But who right now in the current product are you like, I'm listening to this guy the most? Who you really listening to right now?
Oh boy. Right now, I mean, this might be a little might be kind of unpopular amongst the masses, but I've always kind of been a Michael Cole guy. I know the guy gets a bad rap, and I'm not saying the guy is Jim Ross or Gordon Soley by any stretch of the imagination, but
sure,
people got to understand that he's being fed, for lack of a better term, bullshit through the headset a lot of stuff that's like, but if you go back and watch him on like early 2000s SmackDown, he was good, and I think he's pretty good too, along with Pat McAfee. Those two guys I think are really, really good. But of course, watching a lot of AEW, you're watching Excalibur, Tony Schiavone, and Jim Ross every week.
Sure.
You just can't beat the old, you just can't beat the legends like that. But I think Michael Cole and Pat McAfee too are a great team together. I love Pat McAfee's energy, the enthusiasm he brings. It's just great to listen to. I could just listen to him do anything.
Yeah.
Michael Cole is a professional. I mean, there's a reason he's been on top for so long. There's no accident that he's where he's at still to this day, after over 20 years of doing what he's doing. So he's definitely becoming one of the greats, if not already up there.
Oh yeah, and like I said, I mean, is the guy the best of all time? No, obviously people, for the love of mankind at the WrestleMania, it's like, okay, really, dude?
Oh yeah, sure. They're probably like, you got to get this line in at some point, but
yeah, that's what I say too. It's not all his fault because he's got producers, and Vince talking in his ear, and if he doesn't say what they're telling him to say, you're fired. So, but I definitely think the guy has been pretty good for a long time. So in terms of guys there now, him, but of course, JR, Tony, and Excalibur on AEW, I enjoy as well.
Right. So what mainstream wrestling you watching? You watching WWE, AEW, anything beyond that?
I'm watching AEW. I'm watching a little bit of Impact. Try to catch a little New Japan when I can as well. And I'm also GCW, Game Changer Wrestling. I'm really liking that. I think what Brett Lauderdale does over there, I think it's just fantastic. Everything is great there. So I'm taking in a little bit of everything right now, a little bit of WWE as well, around the big pay-per-views. Like we're on the road to WrestleMania. I'll definitely be tuning into that. I tuned into the Royal Rumble, of course. So
yeah, for sure. Couple more questions here, and I'm gonna give you the Primo, man. Is this the end goal career? Is Gage pushing his chips in? Let's go to the moon with this, are we, are you, what's the commitment, I guess, right now is what I'm saying. Does Gage want to be on TV one day other than IWTV?
No, for sure. Yeah, that's been the end goal. That's what I went to school. I was a sports communication major at Bradley. So, I mean, that's just perfect there. The end goal, I think, for me would be to call a sport in any major professionally, whether that's NFL, MLB, NBA, or even like NCAA, in some capacity. That is the ultimate end goal. But I think definitely things like this, things like Zowa and doing like the high school sports on the radio is definitely a good foot in the door to try to get to that goal. It's just trying to climb the ladder and, get to the top one day. So I'm just trying to grind on the lower rungs right now.
Yep. So who's Gage's favorite wrestlers right now? Who's your top three to watch? I'll give you three. I won't make you pick one. Just give me a couple.
All right. Well,
who's making you turn on the TV?
Being from Illinois, of course, I'm a CM Punk guy through and through.
Sir.
I was there when he came back. So
nice.
I was a Punk guy, back when he was in WWE. I remember the summer of Punk very well. I remember the Straight Edge, Luke Gallows, Serena, the Straight Edge Society, definitely there.
Biggie, yeah.
Absolutely. I love John Moxley. Love John Mox. Just, Mox, whenever he, Wild Thing hits and he comes walking into the arena, strutting his shit, looking like he's about to destroy everybody. And I also I'm really liking Matt Cardona right now. Ever since he got off WWE, he's been on a roll. I mean, he's been everywhere, and it's been he's just tearing it up everywhere he goes. It's fantastic to see. So Punk, Mox, and Cardona are my three top guys watching right now.
Yeah, I mean, we just talk, we talk about Cardona a lot because, he's like the hottest wrestler, not signed to a big company right now. I mean, other than like, he's on AEW, I guess, or Impact, but you know what I mean? Like other than the top two, like he's all over the place. So, but so last time we were in Sterling with you in December, man, me and AJ was able to call the match with you. And that was really cool. First time we had both ever got to do that. So that was really cool for us. Something I didn't know that I wanted to do, but was was very awesome. So thank you for, putting yourself through that miserableness of us having to do that with you during that time. But, just a little fun, little inside joke with you, man. How should one use the word gumption correctly?
Oh, goodness. Anytime Dakota's in the ring.
Right.
Gumption that's just one of those things like when somebody's just showing some fight, they're not backing down. They're throwing everything they got at you. You say, God damn, he's showing some gumption.
Right. Yeah, you said it during the match, and we were both, like Pac, me and AJ both. I was like, yes, it's like a word I haven't heard in a long time. But that was really fun, man. It was a pleasure to do that, and looking forward to this Saturday. But here, one last thing before I give it a Primo, man. It says here that you are a Green Bay Packers fan. This has got to be a typo because nobody really admits to that, do they? I mean, we can edit this out, Primo, if you want here, but it said, well, why don't we just move on? Why don't we just move on?
Man, hey, I'll just say die hard, green and gold, go Pack, go all day, every day.
I think that's about all the time we got today, folks. So.
All right. See you guys.
Gage Bright, everybody.
Yeah. All right. Real quick before we get to some of these outside the squared circle questions, I do have a couple here that it just came to me. So, what is prep like for you going into a show? Like, do you have like a day where you sit down and you're like, you look at the card, you kind of like, how is prep for you?
Well, Zowa, they'll drop, matches throughout the week, throughout the weeks leading up to a show, especially the week of the show, they really start to drop the card. And then usually the night before, I'll start to kind of get my notes together, just the classic ink, pen, and index cards. Getting all the, getting guys and girls names down, getting all the information I can. A lot of the guys that have been on Zowa forever, I've kind of committed to memory, but it's still good to have it written down. I get all that done, kind of get everything in order, get the cards in order for each match. Then I can just flip it to the side, one after the other, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the day of the show, I really kind of go over the card again, just kind of look and see, okay, this, we got, okay, this, and then before each show too is when we finish setting up, Zeke will call the ringside meeting to kind of go over the match order, and see how things are going to play out. And while they're doing that too, I kind of get everyone, guys and girls maybe who haven't been there in a while or who are making their debut. I'll, ask them, hey, where are you from? What you weigh in at? What's your nickname? Anything like that. So it's just kind of pretty basic, but it's just kind of the routine I've gotten into.
Cool.
And you got heat with you and Shane show got some heat going on right now, man. So you have to kind of worry about that on top of everything else that you're doing. So I actually talked to Shane last weekend in Prophetstown, and he said you guys got some heat here.
That guy, man, he took an opportunity that Zeke gave him, and now he's just, oh man, like I said, I said it on the last broadcast on IWTV, it just makes me sick.
We'll talk about that later.
Do you ever go back, like say your previous show that you were on, like watch it back on IWTV and look for things to fine tune?
Oh, all the time. As soon as a show, as soon as I can after a show gets uploaded on IWTV, I'm kind of watching it and I watch it back and kind of think, okay, maybe this is working or okay, this is not, because I always kind of live by the, you're never perfect. There's always room for improvement. I kind of tend to pick myself to death, and it's kind of a bad habit. I kind of overanalyze and kind of pick it apart to the point of exhaustion, but I definitely go back, I watch them back, and I watch, even older shows just to kind of see how far I've come. But then it's also like, okay, you still got to keep going, still got to keep it up. So I definitely go back and watch each.
Oh yeah. We know what that's like. We've all three of us here on the show have tried to go back to listen to our first episode, and it's dreadful.
Oh, it's terrible.
Oh God, yeah.
The first 20 are terrible, I think.
Yeah. Have you ever lost your voice before a show?
Well, fun fact, the aforementioned Dan Severn show that I was on, it was the biggest show in Zowa history up to that point. It was fading during the show.
Oh, wow.
Going fast. And I remember I had my cousin Taylor was actually at the show because she's now married to Herrick, wrestler on Zowa. And fortunately, again, God bless her, she brought me water and cherry halls just to try to, like, I'm like, oh God, just stay with me till the end.
Yeah.
Stay with me. And so it was going, but I remember by the time I had to introduce Dan Severn at the end, it was like it was hurting, but that's about the only time I lost it, but a hell of a time to lose it, right?
Right, for sure.
Oh, right.
That's crazy. All right, let's get to some of these other questions here. If you ever had a biography written about you, what would the title be?
Looking on the bright side.
Oh, I like that.
Got to get the
positive thinker.
Yeah, that's great, dude. Throw the name in the title and everything.
Hey, yep.
That's great. What are some of your favorite foods?
Oh goodness. Tacos are up there. Wings are up there.
Moose Lodge nachos.
Absolutely, man. Love a good burger as well. Just everything. And also a kind of a local treat here around Sterling is Angelo's Spaghetti Pizza.
Oh,
spaghetti pizza, huh?
Yep, that.
Oh. You recommend it, huh?
I see the Primo.
The spaghetti Primo is on the pizza.
So yeah, so you got your bottom crust. All right, you got the bottom crust. You got your spaghetti. And you got your cheese on top. I mean,
I can't really dog that because when I do eat, even just eating spaghetti regular, I scoop it on my garlic bread. So what's the difference, really?
Yeah,
it's it's one of those things too. You sound like it's definitely a local delicacy here around the Sterling Rock Falls area.
I would crush that. Like I always keep my leftover spaghetti and make sandwiches out of it next day. Put a slice of cheese, hit that spaghetti, man. Like kids love it too.
Oh, that's awesome. The best part is too, you get the bread. They give you French bread. You cut the French bread in half, and you take like the cheese and the cheese on top and the spaghetti, and just make a sandwich out of that. I mean, it's good shit. All
right. Good. All right, next time I got time to spend in Sterling, I know where I'm eating.
That's good eating, huh?
All right, man, it's the best.
Speaking of eating, AJ's not here to witness this, but let's get one in for him. Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes, no question.
Oh, AJ's gonna pop. AJ's gonna pop.
I had some good pancakes. Yes, I had some good pancakes.
That's great.
He's gonna pop.
Delicious.
AJ's popping.
Pancakes all day.
Yep.
Man, we've had all the guests that we've had on the show. Everybody always says waffles, and it always gets AJ's nerves so much.
Hey, I like waffles. Pancakes, I like waffles. Fine. It's just pancakes always up there more for me.
He's gonna be happy to finally have one on his team.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Here's another one for you: Bruce Lee or Chuck Norris?
Oh boy.
You know the right choice here.
Yes, you know the right choice.
Oh God, you know what? Right, I'm going Bruce Lee.
Yeah,
Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee. I got one.
You're making all the fans tonight.
All respect to Chuck Norris. All respect, but Bruce Lee, man, just the man. Sure.
I knew Gage was one of us. I knew it.
What is something you could recall as being maybe a bizarre life experience that really sticks out to you?
A bizarre life experience. Oh man. God, I'm having to go way back here. Bizarre experience. God, I don't even.
Doesn't have to be anything personal. It could be wacky.
Oh man, trying to think here. I'm coming up blank. I guess this is kind of mild on a scale of things, but I remember the very first time the Zowa's first show of 2020. So it was kind of the first time I was really cut loose, as the ring announcer. Everything's good. They cut off the pre-show music. We're good to go. I'm stepping in the ring and the toe of my shoe caught on the middle rope and I about face planted right off. I'm like, I stumbled and I just kind of caught myself and I thought, well, isn't this off to a good start?
Oh man!
Oh, and nope, another one came up too. I just thought of it. So this past July, we were in Skokie, running up in Skokie during the weekend. We had Rikishi here.
Yeah, outdoor show, right?
Yeah, big show. And we were up in Skokie on that ensuing Sunday running a show up there like we usually do. And under the instruction of Rikishi, I gave a stink face to Bucky Collins.
Pre-planned?
Or it was kind of an on-the-fly thing. Z kind of came out. He's like, yeah, you're going to give a stink face to Bucky out there. I'm like,
wow.
What? Okay.
Nice.
So Bucky can say whatever he wants to me, but I'm like, hey, my ass was in your face. So watch it go with me.
Fireweight champion, what?
Yeah. That is amazing. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better answer there. Okay, so you said you do some sports broadcasting. You also commentate here in Zowa. I'm not sure what your shoot job is, but what other profession could you see yourself doing that you'd be really passionate about?
Oh boy, I think what I'd like, I at one point I thought about being a pilot. I was kind of really considering being a pilot, so I would still be open to doing that, even in these crazy times. I think I'd still be open to doing that, just because you'd get to see different places, and there's nothing like being in control of a beast like a jumbo jet. You'd feel really powerful with those controls in front of you. So I could definitely get behind being an airline pilot for sure.
That is awesome. I like that answer, because when I was a kid, I wanted to be a pilot. So what would your superpower be? Excuse me.
Superpower? I would go morphing ability, like the ability to morph into anyone or anything, because
so we're talking like Mystique. Yeah.
Because think about it, you could be like, man, I'm not really feeling myself today. You could just sneak behind a wall real quick, morph into you could morph into Channing Tatum and just start walking down the street, and you'd be feeling yourself real quick, and you'd get some attention.
No doubt.
If I could do that, my wife would be happy.
Yeah. If I could morph into Jason Momoa, I think my wife would be really happy.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that kind of changes my mind. That's a good one, Gage. Nice.
That is a good one. They can do a lot of things with that. All right. Oh man. You threw me off. I was thinking all the things I can do with that power now. What is the last book that you read?
The last book I read was actually Under the Black Hat, Jim Ross's.
I need to read that book. Still. I know that Dirty has it.
Yep. I've read it. I'm switching with AJ, and he's giving me Mox.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that's the last one I read was Mox. Lastly here, do you have any pet peeves that just set you off, like straw slurping, talking on a speakerphone, anything that just gets under your skin?
Chancho,
definitely loud chewing, chewing or smacking. I'm like, no, cut that shit out. For sure. Gross and annoying, and no.
Yeah, I feel you on that. All right. Well, I appreciate you answering these questions for me. I know some of them are a little ridiculous, but we'll get you back to Dirty to ask some more relatable questions.
All right. Thanks, Primo. These were fun, man.
No problem.
These were fun.
Thank you.
All right, Gage, before we get to Cage Match, which we decided to call it Gage Match this week, just in honor of you, sir.
We had a couple, actually, before you start that, we did have a little conversation about this. We went Gage Match. What did we say? I said rage in the Gage Match.
Rage in the Gage, yeah.
The Punjabi prison match. AJ said the Poon-Gagey prison match.
Hey, that's getting a little... Gagey, there you go.
There you go. So we had a discussion about this.
So we'll do that. But let's talk about this card here this weekend, man. So this Saturday night in Sterling, Illinois, 6 p.m. Central Time local at the Moose Lodge there. The Great Gig in the Sky. I think Zeke has been listening to a lot of Pink Floyd lately. So we got this big card going on this weekend, man. It's going to be a big show out there at the Moose Lodge. Tickets are still available. I think front row is either sold out or it was very close. So, Gage, let's break this card down, man. Let's start off with the Zowa Tag Team title match. we got Country Air, the champions, versus Killer Instinct, man. What do you see possibly happening here?
Well, I know Country Air, I mean, they bring it each and every time they get in the ring. You know, Doc and Zach are just a well-oiled machine. Those guys just work in tandem just beautifully. But, you know, the Gunnar Wicks and Chucky Bates, man, I've seen Chucky Bates a couple times, and that guy's just off his rocker. I mean, that is somebody you want to stay away from. You know, he's padded cell, white van all the way. And Gunnar Wicks, too, just a giant, you know, powerhouse and off his rocker, too. But, you know, I think Country Air's got the gumption, dare I say.
There we
go. Got the gumption, dare I say. It's not going to be easy for him, but I think, you know, Country Air is going to come in there. I think they'll take care of business, but it ain't going to be easy for them.
This is one I'm looking forward to, man. I've actually listened to Country Air on a few podcasts, so I'm excited to see them wrestle live for the first time. All right, next matchup we got is Mr. Havens versus CJ Cole, who replaced Coda Jacobs, who was supposed to be on the card. So now it's CJ Cole. So, you know, this is interesting, man, because, you know, I don't know a whole lot about CJ Cole, you know, and, you know, Mr. Havens kind of has that, you know, he kind of brings the best out of a lot of these guys. What do you see here in this match?
Well, you know, like you said, Mr. Havens, I mean, he brings out the best in a lot of guys. You know, he's just got the energy. I mean, CJ Cole, you know, guy from, you know, I got to say it. He's one of mine. He's from Wisconsin. You know, he's up in Packer country. He's one of mine.
Right.
And,
yeah.
You know, he's got a little bit of a mouth on him. He does. He kind of likes to flap his jaws a little bit in the ring, but he backs it up. You know, he brings he brings some athleticism. He brings a lot of that raw energy as well. So, I mean, I think that one's good. That's going to be a banger of a match, man. That's going to be a good one between Havens and Cole.
How about next up, man? We got Bogot versus Buns of Steel, Jay Fowler.
Well, Jay Fowler's in a little bit of trouble with the state right now. You know, if you heard his bun,
you want to fill in everybody, including Primo here, of what kind of ticket this man received?
Well, for those who don't know, Jay Fowler, the Buns of Steel, is known for his assets, dare I say, you know, and he was apparently fined $500 by the state of Illinois because his buns are not approved by the state of Illinois. I don't know what goes into approving buns. You know, that's out of my pay gap, but you know, so he's being faced with that. But Zeke cut him a deal, said if you win 3 matches in a row, you know, Zeke will pay the fine himself and Fowler won't have to do it. So, you know, he's got Bogot. I've only seen Bogot once. He tagged last time we were in Sterling. He tagged with Bailey actually against Hartenbauer and Judd, and guy's a brute. You know, I think Fowler's going to have to work his asset off if he's going to try to avoid that fine. You know, that's step number 1 in trying to avoid paying that $500.
What do they need to be approved for?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. I mean, I guess they just got to make sure
approved to being the best ass in Illinois. I guess
to exist.
I mean, you know, you can't just go floating asses out there that are nice. I guess you got to get maybe a permit. Maybe a permit.
A permit.
Is that what he needs?
Yes, you know that. I mean, that ass can be a lethal weapon. He knows how to use that thing. You know,
have to register it.
Some sort of violation happening here. All right, so we got Zowa Live champion Hartenbauer and Judd the janitor together collectively. They are called Working Overtime. They are going against Moondog and the Killer Bees. I think they might be the Moondog Bees now or something like that. But, you know, they got their first win in Prophetstown last 2 weeks ago, man. I was there. It was over Stumpy and Hatter, man. So they got their first win. Dare I say they get their second win in a row here?
Oh, man. You know, the Bees, they ended, I think it was, good Lord, an 0 for 700 drought there.
I think that's fair to say.
With that win, you know, and I think that's definitely an interesting pairing. You know, you put the Killer Bees with Moondog Bernard, but, you know, you work in overtime. I mean, we're right there in Judd's backyard, Sterling, Illinois. We got Hartenbauer, the fighting champion, who will take anybody, anywhere, anytime. It doesn't matter. So that's going to be a collision.
All right, last few matches, we got the newest graduates, Gage, of for the Zowa Live Wrestling Academy. We got Everett Benton versus Ty Montgomery. Now these two guys faced off back at Prophetstown 2 weeks ago, and and Everett, he was kind of being nice and being a gentleman about it, and Ty came in with a little bit of an attitude here, like he's ready to take it here. So do you know anything about these two new guys here going at it? This is going to be their very first match ever against each other, correct?
It is, and I can say for sure, these guys have been busting they both have been busting their asses. Training wise, they have come so far since the first time they stepped in a ring. They've taken it, very seriously. They have been both of them been nose to the grindstone all the way. They've been just, like I said, busting ass, to get to this point. But yeah, Everett, he was very gracious, humble, talking about this opportunity, right, looking very much forward to facing Ty, and Ty kind of came in with a little piss and vinegar and was kind of like showing a little attitude, it's like, hey, but to be fair, they're both competitors. They both want to come out and make a statement right off the bat in their first match. They want to show they belong. So that's definitely going to be a good one.
Yeah. All right. How about Freaks and Geeks? Kyron and Dakota, of course, versus the Academy, which is Pregal and Berna. Berna also in Them Damn Coyotes. So they got some history here together, I believe, as the Academy. This should be an interesting tag. Dakota's my guy, so which way I'm leaning on this one.
Oh, yeah. The Academy's always kind of been the standard for tag team wrestling in Zowa, whether it was just Berna and Pregal, and then they added Braxton as well. They've been the standard. 3-time tag team champions in Zowa. That just speaks for itself. But Freaks and Geeks, Dakota, former tag champion, Kyron, the youngest ever Zowa Live champion. They've teamed together once before and got the job done, so that's definitely going to be a good one. I'm still trying to figure out which one's the freak and which one's the geek, but I think I'm getting a hit, but those guys, they definitely bring it, but the Academy is kind of the OG tag team in Zowa, and it's always a pleasure to watch them do their thing too.
It is. All right, here, guys. The last match I have listed, Bucky Collins, former guest on the show, the Fireweight champion, putting the title on the line versus Anakin Murphy, that we learned was Mr. Haven's stepbrother last time he was on, correct? So, I'm looking forward to seeing Anakin wrestle live for the first time too. So, this one's sneaky here, man. This one's a little bit of a toss-up.
It is. You say the name Bucky Collins. that speaks for itself. The guy, whether you agree or disagree with the man's tactics, he gets it done. He's been getting it done for a long time. West and beyond. He's one of the best on the roster for a reason, and one of the best in the Midwest for a reason too. But
absolutely,
Anakin Murphy, though, I love this kid. He shows that he's young, but he's got that, and he's wanting to get better. He's showing that energy. He's bringing it, doing big down in Southern Illinois and across the Midwest as well. So this one is definitely sneaky. He's kind of got what I call that teenage angst. That kind of, he kind of reminds me of that like 90s grunge era where gritty, angry kind of kid. So I definitely think Bucky's going to have to keep his guard up. He can't look past this young kid, or else he'll be walking out of Sterling with his bag a little lighter.
Yeah, I agree, man. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to this show Saturday. Me and AJ is going to be there. Look forward to seeing you there too as well. It's going to be a big show there this Saturday, man. Once again, in Sterling, Illinois, Saturday night at the Sterling Moose Lodge, 6 p.m. Central. It's called The Great Gig in the Sky. Gage, tell everybody where they can grab tickets, or, how they can go about, buying tickets in advance if they need to.
For sure. Main way to do it, message Zowa Live on Facebook. You can hit them up on Facebook. Also, you can hit them up on Venmo or PayPal at Zowa Live. Just, tell them how many tickets you need and send them the appropriate amount of money on either Venmo or PayPal. They will get you hooked up. So you can either shoot them a message on Facebook or just drop them the money on PayPal or Venmo, and they will see to it that you have a seat.
Yep, very cool. Moose Lodge, they got food there. They have drinks there. It's a really cool place to watch wrestling. We're going to be back there again this Saturday giving away free merch. So make sure you come by and check us out there in Sterling. It's going to be a really awesome show. I'm really looking forward to it.
It's going to be a good one for sure. Great gig in the sky. We're starting out. We're kind of getting back into spring, and the weather's going to get nicer and the wrestling's going to get hotter too. So if you can make it out, definitely make it out, because I was doing it big again here starting in 2022.
Totally agree. I totally agree. It's going to be some big shows there coming up, man. So it's going to all start off with this one. All right, Gage, let's get rolling here, man. We're going to call this Gage Match today. We got 10 trivia questions for you. And these particular questions are based on famous ringside commentators, announcers, ring announcers, all that, to see, where your knowledge is at. So I got 10 questions for you here, Gage. Let's see how many of them you can get correct here. If you're ready, I'm ready.
All right, let's do it.
All right. What college football team does good old JR support?
Boomer Sooner, the University of Oklahoma.
This is
The
true.
worst team ever.
All right. You're a 1 for 1. Next up, what state was Jerry Lawler from?
He is from, I believe, Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct. I'm throwing you some softballs here to get you rolling. You ready?
All right.
All right, we're gonna pick up here. All right. What fighting city was Michael Buffer born in?
Michael Buffer. Oh boy. Oof. Was it it wasn't Vegas, was it?
Was not Vegas, no.
Ooh, okay. Fighting city.
Fighting city on the East Coast.
Oof. All right. I'm New York.
No. Correct answer is Philadelphia.
Oh, okay. I was close. Geography
was close. All right. Here you go, Gage. We were talking about Michael Cole earlier. What year did he sign with WWE?
I believe that was 97.
That is very much correct, sir. Nice. Very good. 3 out of 4. All right, man. Let's roll this one here. Where was Bobby the Brain Heenan born? What city was he born?
Oh, God. Come on now.
Yeah.
Bobby Heenan.
Yeah.
God, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know.
Well, I checked a couple different just to make sure, and they all said that he was born in Chicago. So I thought you might know that one.
You're kidding me. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So Chicago there. All right. So 3 out of 5 here to start. Let's finish up strong here. Here we go.
Let's do it.
All right. Name the current panel of AEW announcers. Name all 3.
All right. We got Excalibur. We have
Right.
Tony Schiavone, and we have good old JR, Jim Ross.
Those are correct, sir. All right. Now a little test to see if you've listened to the podcast before. Who is my favorite ring announcer commentator of all time?
Oh God, oh God, I just heard this too. Come on. Your favorite.
I'm old school, so you got to go back, man.
Are we Gordon Soley?
Yes, absolutely,
All
Gordon
right.
Soley. Yes.
Yes.
I was about to say, and I was raised in the South, so
There you go. All right.
there
Yeah.
you go.
I was like,
Very
I've
nice.
heard that before. I just couldn't. I'm like, come on.
Yeah. All right, here's a fun one, man. Who was Mean Gene Okerlund interviewing when he famously said, "We are live, pal," when the wrestler tried to start the interview over completely during a pay-per-view?
That was that Psycho Sid?
That was Psycho Sid. You're all right. Nice.
Yep.
You're rolling here. All right, we got 2 to go, man. We got 2 to go. I think you can get both of these too. All right. What NFL team did Pat McAfee punt for?
Indianapolis Colts.
That's correct. All right. There's no wrong answer here. Do you send Hook or do you send Veer?
You send Hook.
You send Hook.
Send
That's
Hook.
right.
And Hook.
I mean, you got 8 out of 10, my man.
All
So
right.
you finished up strong there. So that's 80%, man. That's it's pretty good there. I would say your announcer, ring commentator history. So that was nice, man. And and you missed the Chicago question. So
I know I know. I feel dumb for that one, but
it's all good. Fuck them.
That's
I'm not a
one that I
Bears
didn't
fan
know either.
me either. It's all Chicago except the Bears.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. Gage, man, thank you so much for being on the show, man. We're looking forward to seeing you this Saturday in Sterling. We got some merch and a brand new fresh t-shirt waiting on you, man. So I'll see you Saturday at the show, man. Plug your socials, plug your Twitter. That's how I found out this man was a Packers fan, was following him on Twitter here. So, it's a good follow, man. So throw it out there, Gage, all your socials.
For sure. You can find me on Twitter, of course, it's at GAGE and then _ BRIGHT. You can find me there on the Twitter. Instagram, it's gage.bright25. Those are where I'm at most. So you can hit me up on there. Of course, Facebook is just Gage Bright. You can find me there. Simple search. That's where you can find me, follow Zowa Live social media as well for match announcements, show dates, anything like that. Follow them all: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Zowa Live. Give them a like, a follow, interact with them, see what's going on.
All right. Make sure you guys, if you're in the area of Sterling, Illinois, this Saturday, get to Zowa Live. The great gig in the sky. I'm going to be there. Gage is going to be there. Gage, thanks again, brother. Looking forward to seeing you there, man. We'll see you Saturday.
All right. See you guys Saturday. Thank you very much for having me.
Of course. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right. That was our interview with Gage Bright, a very interesting man. He's busy, but that guy has a voice for this business. I think he's going to have a future, Primo. What do you think, man?
I would say so. For as many things as he's got going on, he talked about not just the wrestling, but also the sports announcing there, or sports announcing that he's doing. So
the Dixon Dukes.
Yeah, the broadcasting he's doing over there. Plus, he said he broadcasting degree. So he's just he's going to go a long way there.
Dixon Dukes, eh?
Dixon Dukes.
Are they dogs? Like I imagine a bulldog when you say the Dixon Dukes.
I believe that's fair to assume.
Why is that a thing? Like, why did I think that?
I honestly don't know that answer.
I think James Madison is the Dukes, and there is they got a bulldog, I think, for a mascot. So, but yeah, this Saturday night, Gage is going to be there, including us up in Sterling, Illinois, for that big card. So we're going to have Gage back on here very, very soon. All right, now it's time for Promo School. All right, today's Promo School is none other than the kiss-stealing, wheeling-dealing, Space Mountain son of a gun, my favorite wrestler of all time. So it was only right that we finally got my man Ric Flair on here. So today, this is one of my favorite Ric Flair promos of all time. He is just on fire. He's going to let you know what's cooking in Atlanta, Georgia.
Get ringside with NWA World Heavyweight Champion Nature Boy Ric Flair. Wherever he goes, beautiful women are always around.
No, Tony, you've got to understand that being the world's heavyweight champion, defending the greatest honor in all of professional wrestling, is a full-time task in itself. Now, you take into consideration that I run a financial empire and that wherever I go, I never leave a lady without a smile on her face. Now, it's no secret that when Ric Flair comes into Atlanta, GA, representing NWA as only he can do, the women stand in line because they've been starved for the sight of a real man in this town for a period of time. Now, camera, can you focus on what Atlanta's all about? Let's get a big picture. I want these lovely young ladies that represent what Atlanta's all about. Turn around, ladies. Show them what's cooking in Atlanta, GA tonight. I'll tell you what's cooking. Ric Flair, the National Wrestling Alliance, and Big Time Sports. It's no secret to anybody that when Ric Flair's name is on the marquee, and I don't care if it's in Cincinnati, I don't care if it's in Greensboro, Charlotte, North Carolina, Atlanta, GA, Houston, Texas, you pay attention, sweetheart, or you'll never get in line. The people stand in line because they're going to have an opportunity to see the greatest wrestler in all of professional sports. Now, Dusty Rhodes, Magnum TA, Michael Hayes, the list is endless of all the big guns that want to be where I am. They want to wear the custom-made clothes. They want to ride around in long limousines. They want to woo the finest women in the world today. Well, gentlemen, you remember one thing. Ric Flair is forever, and so is the NWA. And wherever I go, whatever I say, put it in the bank, it's as good as gold, because you're looking at what makes professional wrestling what it is today. Woo! Let's go, ladies.
Put the four fingers in the air. Pay attention, girl. You'll never get in line.
You'll never get
That's
in line.
right. I'm gonna take a trip to Space Mountain.
Yeah, classic.
Can I come?
Promo there, man. From the Nature Boy, doing being only as he can be, of course. All right, time to close the show, AJ.
So I just want to say that what I learned there was Atlanta has the finest women.
They do.
They do.
He lets you
And
know.
I want to point out that all the cities that he named were Eastern, except for Houston.
I mean, yeah.
True.
Houston is Eastern Texas. Does that count?
That's true. Southeast, yeah.
Texas is a big place. By the way, apparently the Dixon Dukes, their mascot is just a big D, because I can't find an animal anywhere.
You big old D.
You big D. So it's a fancy D. That's the only logo I can find for that.
Going to the big D and don't.
You fucking big D's. Like the letter D, not a dong. That would be quite a school mascot. Anywho, what are we doing? Going home?
Where can you get the Sit Down Marks podcast?
You
Tell the masses.
Can't get the Sit Down Marks podcast. Fix my eyebrows here. At any place that you download your podcast, Amazon, iTunes, Spotify, Google Plus, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. I don't know.
My Spotify Max. Spotify Max.
Twitter Premium.
Yeah.
No, we're not on Twitter Premium, you dummy. You big damn D. And all the other places where you get podcasts. Also, we're on SportzWire online radio right before the
number one
Thomas Bryce show every Friday. Also, right here on the old YouTubes every Wednesday at 6:30, 5:30 Central.
Search Sit Down Marks.
And then we've got some merch. If you would like to buy some of that, go to tpublic.com/stores/Sit-Down-Marks. That link again if you want to buy some baby clothes and
like
nothing
that shirt
else.
You have on there.
Yes, like the smackety down shirts, Sit Down Mark shirts, all kinds of stuff. Go to tpublic.com/stores/Sit-Down-Marks.
I gotta say real quick. I call you out, AJ. Somebody recently bought a retro T-shirt. Was it you?
No, I haven't gotten one yet.
Really? Was it you, DB?
Nope.
Man, I got an email. I got an
I lived
email.
through the '80s. I don't need to buy those shirts.
on the merch store, somebody bought a retro T-shirt.
Oh, I like it. Oh, I also want to let you know, if you go to tpublic.com and when you sign up for the first time on your order, they're going to give you a code for 15% off your order right off the bat. So you're going to get that just by signing up for emails. So on top of all the 35% off sales that they do, if you just go up there and you're like, oh, the shirt's, $20, if you sign up, they give you that 15% off code and you can get 15% off your first order. AJ, let's get to these UFC weekend picks, my friend. You did pretty good, man. You were 35-37 coming into this week. You went 3-2 over the weekend. So that brings you to 38-39. So you are
I'm so close.
Close. Let's see what happens this weekend, man. Let's make some picks here. We got Spivak versus Hardy.
Spivak.
All right, next match, Oliveira versus Holland.
Holland.
How about Barbosa versus Mitchell?
Barbosa.
All right, I think this might have gotten called off because I think Dos Anjos versus Fiziev got called off due to COVID. But go ahead and make a pick anyway. Dos Anjos versus Fiziev.
It's now Dos Anjos versus Moicano.
All right, there you go. Make a pick.
Oh, the first guy then.
Dos Anjos.
Replacement's not going to win. Fuck off.
All right, gotcha. All right, and one of the biggest UFC main events in a long time. These guys literally fucking hate each other, and this is a shoot brother. AJ, Covington or Masvidal?
Masvidal.
Jorge Masvidal. All right, Primo. Me and you know how big.
Yes.
Me and you know how big this card is this weekend, Primo. Coming into this week, you were 7-4. You went 1-0 last weekend with your Makachev pick, so that brings you to 8-4. Very nicely done there, my friend. So, hey, Primo, help out all the gamblers out there, man. Who's your MMA lock of the week? I mean, me and you both know how big this card is this weekend.
You know what?
Going with this main event?
For once, I got to go with my heart here.
Okay.
And that BMF bad motherfucker, Jorge Masvidal, is going to mess up Colby Covington.
Yeah.
He's the only one that I've heard of in that entire 40 people that you just listed. So
it's funny, AJ, real quick. This is a wrestling storyline, dude. These guys used to be in camp together, came up together, practiced together, all in the same camp. Now they fucking hate each other. It's a bloodbath. It's going to be awesome.
I love it.
So if I had to pick anybody too, I'm going with Jorge.
I'm not really that big of a fan of Colby Covington either. So
right.
Fuck Covington.
I like Jorge Masvidal, and I hope he just knocks him out.
Yeah, right, stupid Covingberg.
Give us the preview next week, brother.
I will give you the preview next week, brother.
So,
brother.
Come in close, Marks, because we got the preview next week. We continue our famous...
Open ice block in ear.
We continue our famous Mania matches by reviewing The Rock versus Hogan from Mania X8, the Ocho. Also, our reactions from the AEW pay-per-view Revolution. And the Marks get ready to go back to work because next week is the return of Iron Spirit Pro, and we will be breaking down that big card going down in Normal, Illinois.
Breaking down the ring, too.
For it. Whew. Tune in also next week because that's me. Primo's music class is back, you heard? And we are going to debut a brand new cheesy-ass game show music. We love it. I'm sure you'll love it. And in fact, it's so damn good, it's going to have you dancing just like that Vince McMahon gif. Or GIF, if that's what you want to call it. It's awesome.
It is pretty cheesy. I like it a lot.
It is. I'm excited for it next week, man. It's going to be fun. So, all right. So, reminder, 2 shows me and AJ are going to be at this weekend. Friday night, we're going to be hanging out with Dylan in Alton, Illinois for St. Louis Anarchy. Huge card there, man. Excited for that one. And then Saturday night, we're going to be back in Sterling for the last show there for quite a while in Zowa Live. So it's going to be a fun show, man. Come by. If you see us at either shows, come say hi. Zowa, we're going to be giving away free merch, and make sure you guys come and hang out, man. So it's going to be a fun time. Big weekend of wrestling, man. A lot of shows going on. So, yeah, you guys got anything else here?
Yeah, I have just one thing. This is our anniversary month. This is also today, this episode 53, marks the season 2 of Sit Down Marks officially. And I'm happy and I am excited to see what this next year brings us. So this whole month is our anniversary. So enjoy. All the Marks out there, listen and share with your friends. Get some people to review the pod for us. That'd be great too.
Yes, absolutely.
That also reminds me, there is something that I wanted to say. Congratulations, you two. Of course, I joined a little later, so I just want to send you fellers out a heartfelt thank you for starting this and inviting me to come along and basically, taking over the entire thing. I could do this by myself.
I mean, you definitely could. I mean, you're here for us. We're here for you.
Yeah, you're here. For me. Oh, did you buy her a little trophy at a trophy store?
Hi there, AJ. I'm over here at Primo's house.
So stay tuned to all our social medias. We'll be announcing who we're going to have on the pod next week. We are, after next week is going to be our 1-year episode show. We got a really cool interview lined up for you. We're going to be dropping who that's going to be later. So excited for what's coming up here, man. We're coming to a year anniversary of the Sit Down Marks podcast. Tell a friend, because for long we're not going to be the best kept secret in wrestling podcast, because we are going to be the best kept podcast.
We're just the best, and it's not every day that you go and you win that Billy Gunn Golden Belly Button Award, but we did it this week. And
it's gun with 3 N's, by the way, legally distinct.
Before too long, yeah, like Duddy said, it's not going to be a secret anymore. So
yeah, that was a big award, by the way. We're very prestigious.
See you guys at St. Louis Anarchy Friday and Zowa Saturday. AJ, take us home.
Graber Demon Kirk.
I'm sorry.